If I'm with them, good evening. This na Kutubu Koroma again. We don't come today with another edition of we program them. In fact, as a matter of fact, this one today now waiting to go around the social media. But before I do that, I want on behalf of my boss, that Lady Fadima Savage, who I know say that the program he bereaved, so go able to come. But I want as soon as say, even though they are physically, but he there with we spiritually, and he don't give we a blessing. He don't pray for we, and by God power, we will hold it forth. He get a lot of confidence in we say we'll do the job for him. And in fact, we even glad we own man, we don't get Mr. Patrick Sauvé. Yesterday, you see, he joined we. So in a place where we the turn, I say we know the short, we know the short thing. We don't say, yeah, get for be home away from home. Now this we don't decide what they do. We they make on a feel. And today, if I just follow on a feel that we they change the format small. Today we allow ourselves talk to we. Now talk to we. We now go raise questions here. We now go ask we. We'll open the floor. We now talk to we. We now say we use statement there. If we now get question there, we now the only thing no more. It don't say we get for the day. The 3 minutes we hold that to that. Because get a lot of people that want to give everybody opportunities and let them talk. Not to win no more. We they interact. Now this they call participating democracy. When we talk, una say they talk. We listen to una, and una say go listen to we. Then say they so we all now get here. This is what they talk with. Just now we all get some. Yes, now Mr. and Mrs. Abu Karim, now they get this place here, now they open a ball. Guess what? I'll all get because without we, this place not will go before. And the family this. So until we co-host Mr. Patrick Camp, he on the way, he will come very shortly. This time I'm opening statement, but I just touch on small thing very quick. We hopefully Sotonas will pick them up. The question we'll ask yourself now: who wants this salon now? Who really wants here now? Because Lord, don't forget, so we don't get independence. You don't know about 50 something years. You can't go so very shortly. We can't celebrate her. But we they ask yourself one question, and the person who bring this question, Mr. Late Ronald Reagan, when I be president in America, he always asked. He said, "Well, you better off." And now or yesterday, how you day, how you look yourself. So as we go along with the ask yourself, if we satisfied with the status quo, we like how things are so. If we say no, we don't like them, we don't get only for Tapia now. We go for the way to get for do. They what they do, they go back to the 35th President of the United States, John Kennedy, where we talk January 20, 1961. That time we take that oath of office as the past president. He say, no, ask what America will do for you. You ask what you will do for America. So that nine of the thing we our viewers. Now we understand what do they do? We make all kinds of the problem. And how we able move salon for point A to point B, APCO, be it SFPPO, NDCO, we all. Now one thing now the banner around, that's what they call green, white, and blue. Then at the center, then I glue that all way. Yes, we got for them at the different parties now because that's what we get for achieve governance. That way they we go to state house, no go to parliament. That would the parties and go make we go there. But even as we get there, we get a crystal ball, and the crystal ball are green, white, and blue. So the question is, what to go able to do for make sure say that green, white, and blue, a whole way, and the cement where it go whole way, we go really, really whole way. So, like I say, I don't want to talk about I just want to let down this small and then ask the people in the studio for see if they can allow 2-3 comments and very quick. While should we wait for Mr. Patrick for coming? Because when say I get for Daniel Tuna, he will make a statement and then say they don't how they go from. So, Tuna at the studio, I want to send back Tuna. Let us see if we get anybody and let us make 2-3 and call them, let us see what they get in mind. And what would you get for look at? Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kutubu, and Fambule Muna, welcome. And say people are on the camp small, but the people that we don't join, we on Madam Fadima, say they grieve but as a part of VOS Fambul, he always get for deal with VOS. And then Spectator Dabo, thank you so much for we join we, and Umaru Shaw, thank you for we join we, and Weon Musa Kagbo, thank you for we join we. And so far, the people that what they see, now they want in there, and we're going to encourage you now follow and share, and let more people in come. So, back to you, sir.
Thank you. What thing I want open up with here, I know see where Mr. Patrick Sefcam, him being a lawyer, it will work mostly. I want to talk about the three branches of government who get. I want talk of the government who will get from 57, May 57, who hold the first general election at SALONE. We bring and down all the way to March 21st, 1967, the kind of government will be get. Then perhaps we will take again from April 26, 1968 to April 19, 1971. We they look at that kind of government will be get, and we turn behind and find out if we make any gains in that kind of a style of government will be get gains them in there, or we get speed bumps there. If the street bumps will be get, it's so overwhelming, so powerful that the ground will. Well, as far as me political readings or recollections or knowledge, from the time where we hold our first general election, May 1957, we've been able to call a parliamentary form of government, meaning that we get the parliament, we, in fact, an infusion in the sense that parliament members say that they also serve as the administrators. Now, from the parliament, they will get the prime minister and cabinet ministers. That kind of a government in now we get. Just like putting again at Westminster and England, and again at Canada, and again at Australia. So in that kind of a setting, it go hard for you get a dictatorship at that setting. If anybody they follow what they happen at Britain now, the Prime Minister, Mrs. Theresa May, in job day in jeopardy. In job day in jeopardy because he just take 1 or 2, 3 ministers for persuading colleagues them. And so you know what? This woman I know they do well now. You see this Brexit we don't bring this year in the Hamburg we or you know it will work now we pull up. So in a situation like that, the Prime Minister and any kind of a system, a job he always owe not to the electorate them. It is survive as Prime Minister or every day we deserve, provided he get the support of the Parliament, regardless of whether now the German elector, then I want to now the German elector for bring and be. But in your job, he hold up at the whims, views, and caprices of the MPs or the ministers or the whole Parliament as a whole. And you don't necessarily get for commit grave constitutional crisis. No, you're not going for do. All they need for do now, let 2-3 ministers just look no more 4 MPs and say, look, this guy not competent. We may almost get that kind of government at SALONE. It may happen at SALONE. I want to remind you now, in 1967, and specifically on Saturday, March 20, 1967, 4 people then SLPP be removed at that Magana. They end up in leadership. They end up in leadership of the country and the party. What do they do? They just tell them plain. Say, Pa, the way how things to go will not satisfy. Look how the election don't go. Then say this. For let we support, for let SLPP come back to power, you get for resign. What I want to tell everybody now, SLPP be actually precipitate then downfall now that make APC come in with that slight majority. Because the 4 guys we are Kutubu Kaisamba, Ellen Brewer, FS Anthony, and JB Francis. Then 4. Then with Salah Yusuf Sheriff, then undercover. They have been undercover, but show his face too much because of in day one with Sir Albert. Now you want to ask yourself if that we able to do that kind of we able to get rid of a leader in that way. Now, more say the president. Now, not understand. We get what we call a presidential system of governance. Now get down. Now, from April 19, 1971, where Shaka still has been proclaimed republic. Yes, we care that kind of thing go small. But shortly, just a day after that, then he make himself president, executive president for life. We begin come up from that Westminster government. We begin to adopt governments like which happened in North Korea, Russia, China, Venezuela, Cuba, and all that. Say small. You don't become president. And when it become president, the next thing will begin the country, and specifically in 1978, we see a one-party system. So in situations like that, it's very difficult for them to pull a president. It's very difficult, regardless of how bad he is, how badly he mismanaged the fabric of the society, not be able to pull up. Because you get so much rudiments the way you get for go to. And I mean, even this saga between and by Kuruma this guy, Sam Sumana, and that make it become a major issue. It became a major issue when they say, well, no, we get another way for go not to do it. Whilst in the parliamentary form of government, it's very easy. You can sack anybody. What you know, I need a vote of confidence. When I just say, look, this guy's not doing well. No leader, not a survive in a parliamentary system of governance where the MPs they all are part of her, the ministers are part of her. Mrs. Margaret Thatcher, one guy nine starts in downfall. Nine get lost in Chancellor of the Exchequer or the Finance Minister, nine start unrest. From that, nine the people they pick up. Another person where this happened to Tony Blair. Would that bring Tony Blair in downfall? Gordon Brown, one man. It happened again to David Cameron. What happened? The Brexit business. I mean, people then like, oh, they talk about it. Yeah, yes, that's no business they talk about. But they go around because they look for solutions. Then. So as they look for solutions, they therefore look at other places. I mean, we have to come up with historical knowledge, political knowledge, how governance work. Let's say they say, you know what? No, take this from here. No, put that. Now, let's wait in the United States. The parliament in the United States, just like anywhere, number one. And before the parliament, because they get two sort of parliaments there, the Senate and the House. Now, but the first one, when at the House, the power where they get, when no other person don't get that, the power wait for let them sign the check. And then they sign the check on behalf of the United States. If they not sign the check, government no go function until they sign the check. We they see what will happen between the president and the speaker. The speaker na go authorize, na go tell, the okay to the finance committee and all that, and let them sign the money, let invite the president and people, let them come, let them talk almost. But the speaker say no, that not go happen. It not go happen. The president say that go happen. Now, some of una way with politics, foreign affairs. If I know say two people of we listeners and they way grounded in foreign affairs international. Then we call what we call the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the then Soviet Union and the United States. Also the missile crisis, OBC, where United States and the Soviet Union began the nuclear way. The question of would that first blink and a year. While through diplomacy they tried to give Mr. Khrushchev, they get a face-saving way, and be blink. Where John Kennedy tell us say in the deploy missiles, around there we will be aimed at Cuba. So when Mr. Khrushchev look at it and they saw they find a diplomatic way. So the question now between Mr. Trump and Mrs. Pelosi now say who that get for blink? This is the brinkmanship this way don't kind of. So that one can go back to SALONE. I want to assure anybody, say, if we get a system of governance, that's alone, where the parliamentarians, they understand the role, say, regardless of who that you be as president, now you accountable to we go hold you accountable. Anyhow you do, whatever you do now, if we now not approve of them, you know go do it. Especially spending. Like this education business where the president talk about. Yes, I go in there because while everybody get educated, and enlightening educated society is very good for development. But the question is, who funds it? Then the question. The president ain't bring up the proper way where them for doing if for can go to parliament, it becomes an act of parliament legislature. In just to go care the proposal how it sent for doing. Parliament that in get for fund them, not to the administration. No, not to, because this has to be a national, policy. Now we get for understand, say, when you come out today, let's get for outlive you that this we need for the do for build structures and institutions so that most the way President Bio come out from power, the educational system where in the fashion for stay, for only the way they in power, no, not for me. That explains why this is where the parliament is very important. This is where the parliament gets its say. This is where you find that the parliament gets for funding. That becomes a national treasury, that a national law, that the policy that whether President Bio in office or not, whether he go, that go always. But if the parliament is not involved, it's not engaging, it means everything just happen on the whims, views, and caprices of the president. This explains why in the third world countries, the leaders, the presidents, then they emerge as dictators. This happen by default. Now we parliamentarians. One, they don't know their role under the constitution, and at this Agwale we all we waiting now and when we out. I want to spend time today. Let we actually examine the parliament, the strength of it. In the 16th century, where the European leaders, when they get them, they be big power. When I get we read world history, I'm going to relate to which I talk. King John began a big problem with Imbeunstep than he advised us them. So people them don't get fed up. They don't get fed up with this dictatorship. So now they confront them. They say, we have to reduce some of your power. Of course, when we in England, we know of a place when they call Runnymede. We know that place. We know they know Runnymede. So the first King John for go meet and say, then they sign a treaty, then they sign an understanding. That's what they call the Magna Carta. That they come out. But when they sign them, King John reneged on that. So England almost will go into war, but in Pekin when succeed and then King Henry III, where he come, okay, what he do, he modernize them, he modernize them. In as much as he not do everything where he papa be do, but the half one way he agree on, now they take up from the Magna Carta, now flow a lot of laws which the in most continents adopted as a constitution. Even America said, now they will come of this separation of powers, when they say, okay, you get the parliament, you get this, you get that. From that also get important laws that we come this things like one thing that in law, which is so fundamental, that's what they call habeas corpus. Now, I bring this habeas corpus in there. If I recall, I just don't talk about Abbas Bundu, the speaker. He don't send somebody going to jail. We, of course, illegal because not to the top of parliament for do that. They accuse the person of contempt of parliament. Contempt of parliament, like we call it, is said, yes, that charge, but who that get for handle that? Now the second branch of government, when at the administration. So that kind of a charge, then the attorney general and the officer, the Senate. Now the question is, where is the bar association? Oh, lawyers have. Because in a situation like this, you expect we bar association with lawyers have for come out. Look, now one of the custodians of the constitutional liberties, you get what they call amicus, a brief amicus, than a Latin word, and you define briefs on behalf of people who are the lawyers and a group of people that come together, file a case so that try to remove that man in a jail. Because the man he entitled to that way according to habeas corpus. habeas corpus now in law or in law, which that mean, the court, they force the governor of the jail, the keeper, the big man within the jail, for produce somebody before for show cause why you hold them. And that this exactly some of we they expect from the bar association, the guy where they say that are lawyers for going to court and challenge the speaker. They file motion for for let they release that money and bring them for show cause why they hold them. But all this will not see them. So when a speaker don't begin send somebody go to jail, I don't care what's the offense when the man commit. That's not really the issue now. The issue now, the overreach of power. The speaker use power when you don't get them at all. Because if we get forgot by waiting, people like Montesquieu then say, people like John Locke then say, wait, of course, now we get with the separate governance. They're not supposed to do that. In your job or parliament, in your job now for report that money to the administration. Then the attorney general in office. Then the attorney general they will take up. They will press a charge on the man. Say yes, that once the parliament saying the thing what the man do. Then there's out there we trouble. We get forget evidence for do something. We get forget evidence. The parliament send the evidence. Now the attorney general in office saying that this time the man do. Then but for let the speaker take up on himself, he sends somebody in a jail. It's very frightening. And it's scary. Let not tell anybody that a fundamental encroachment that on the constitutional liberties of citizens them. And that will not forsake. These are all the things that we'll talk about. So if we talk about say one see SALONE for go before, one for see an egalitarian and just society where every man and woman they play in your role towards the task of nation building. These are the things that work for the way in, for the also be concerned about things. We forget sharp memory them. We eyes will be open. We focus for the day. We depict that thing. We for the talk about them. These are part of participating democracy. Democracy not to pass to go to parliament no more. Go sit on a parliament. We be MPs them or we cabinet ministers. No, that's just a minute part of it. Democracy, the right for no talk. That also brings into focus why we forget a free and unfettered press. There has to President Thomas Jefferson say he will prefer for live in a country where not get government, but the people they free for talk than for live in a society where get government, the freedom of the press or free speech now an integral part of the democratic process, now a bulwark of democracy. No way, no, they will go trouble say we are a free society, we are a democratic society, we are a society we thrive on the fundamental edifice of the law, where the people they know they talk, no, not a free society, now a fast standing. So let's leave this again and go back to the studio and see if we people that will come in while they wait for Mr. Patrick for coming and see what they will add to this. Back to you, sir.
Well, thank you, Professor Kutubu. And it looked like, you don't really set the stage. And the thing them way they trend now the social media, one way me sort of think say you cable help throw light, so some of we cable get a little bit of understanding is the president in speech. Plenty people that don't kind of talk about that speech day, and a speech we get plenty red meat in, and one way I really like is where he talk about university in Akono. Say it go kind of thing for build university in Akono, and but one thing will sort of trouble me if I can use that word. Some people then I see one or two forums them where they say the National Jama Association sort of comment and say the president use word like war, so then say for retract time and things. But we'll come back to that. We get a caller. Let me hear from a caller, if you can permit me, sir.
Oh, great.
Yeah, VOS Network. Hello, caller. What's your name and who say the call from, please?
Yes, sir. My name is Ali Bangoa and I call from Maryland.
Hello, Mr. Bangura. Go ahead, please. If you get question for Mr. Kutubu, because this one for know through Una, the topics they will make social, where they make rounds. So if Una get question, Una through and he go doing best for answer in your way. Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Okay. My first question where I want to ask Mr. Kutubu, right now, Mr. Kutubu now like a journalist, and a journalist for be neutral and for be transparent for anything you do. Okay, it don't try. We let them now we on big border. But one thing we get for all these governments responsible. Let we not pretend like see this government, the SAP government, not to the in power. No matter beyond the president, you know. So like that we attack against APC. Now we say they don't accuse APC or when they don't find them guilty, then that team will go after APC. But for this time, if we let this government say them do worse past APC, we never blame people anymore. Now people are waiting at the social media with the blame because when they see the truth, when they hide the truth for people, you know, everything will begin for this government from the day one, from the appointment of the speaker, take go to the anti-corruption boss, up to this last part where the president's go na kono. Just imagine now we presidents and not ever get the right to go talk about war and amongst. So that topic they do for the talk because we come in a democratic country. You right, Mr. Way said the Sierra Leone bar association need the act, Mr. Kutubu. That's how you right. We forget people who they challenge government. But say this is wrong. What I do so, then go to court. You know. But we not get some people. So we all know by now. If we say the phrase, follow we attack the government, it's like with the wicked Sierra Leoneans then. Because we forbid the voice of the people, you know, and we for act like we are the voice of the people. We all be see the past government.
Okay, Mr. Bangura, for let you time not done, I want to let you really like just get all that together in a form of a question. Let we pass them over to Mr. Kutubu. And yes,
just one more. Just like the past government, we see where the likes of Alpha Kutubu and Alpha Saidu and others where they go against the past government. But they not get one problem. We see the former the president of SALONE, and then Skoma and Alpha Saidu, every Shekan. That's what we call democracy. But this government will never see them. So, Mr. Kutubu, this is my question where I want to answer me. You see, that's just like waiting the chairman say. Do I want to answer me that question? As I do at the big sir. Are they on the phone, sir?
You don't know, sir?
Yeah, I don't know, sir. Yes, sir.
You can just finish and then if you get additional question, call back. And then, so long get a chance for the answer because no one for let this be confrontational back and forth.
Because what you do, so even all the days that you come against even Silver Blinded. Silver Blinded not be minister anymore. If you come against Silver Blinded, we're to minister, and we don't get information about Suarez, the way people are waiting at this government, whether involved in the corruption, where would they left them, they would go attack them Silver Blinded, the way they're not even in a governance anymore. You see, we're going to face the reality. This is all a political threat to paper. You know, like I say, this president, no. The president, Mother Biorana, the president, and anything happen at Sierra Leone, just like what the old Donald Trump, now responsible for anything happen. Now the same thing, not different between them. You know, so now I don't know more I want for Kutubu help me for let it go like that. So I would have said for anything that can go coming, sir.
Wonderful, thank you so much. So Mr. Kutubu, we get in question before let time go?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you, caller, and God bless. We will pass them over to Mr. Kutubu now while we wait for other calls. Them, thank you. Bye-bye.
I want to with brother Boku Tsenki. Let God bless them. This now the participative democracy. This they talk about. Let God continue for better for that, and let God make every concern we get. Let He bring them up. Because we all, yes, we were there now. We where God don't make we there and they see we then they hear we if. But let we brother self know say it's a part of this process for Kessler don't go before. Let he understand that. Then I place that for call we attention to the fact say, hey, Kutubu, this wrong go, Mr. Abdul, this wrong go, and so let they do with attention. For instance, I want to show what I say. Don't let me talk today say, me not the SLPP, not the APC, not the NDC, not the no party. Now one party no more belong, the party of green, white, and blue that they are belong to. And the party of green, white, blue, it pass everybody because the green, white, blue party, without that party, will not be forgetting any of the other party. Then, the people then when I say party of green, white, and blue, I mean SALONE. And that I mean, I can yell for you, euphemism, use the party, the country color, green, white, and blue, that SALONE. I mean, the border bring very excellent point, very fundamental concerns, and I don't raise now. And these concerns, by God the power, I want to assure that man is some of we get for begin, they turn we eyes to this administration. Because we're not going to stay 5 years, we'll begin the set up commission of inquiry. Maybe repeatedly, I don't talk this word, we don't need commission of inquiry as SALONE. What you need now, we need the what they do so. This kind of material don't bring. Let God continue for putting blessing, and then kind of a place that will get so. Now we talk the issues, a lot of afraid of them. Don't afraid them. Now be honest and fear. Honest and fear, but no, tell them. Because they go only no say they do mistake, go openly come challenge them. But for not they tell them, we should not know more. Yeah, they left and give God. But God says he said for help step first. We need any people they are known. Now make America great. Then they tell the leader. Now laugh for that. Believe me, I can still let Dr. Yukela, but I go tell Dr. Yukela, if the listener, before today when I made that podcast, I talk say, if anybody in a parliament not be for vote for increase, Dr. Yukela not be for do that because we don't say that the man, that the champion that for we, that the champion that of the country, we the downtrodden, we where they suffer. Now we boku where they do this, so we expect no, but for now me not go take money or I not go take increase in pay now. Then people they suffer. That man where he push kind of attacking, he not go able to pull and become money. Let we, people they lose. So these are the things there. So again, that bless we border, let God continue for putting blessing upon them. And we want as I say, we will they listen to them. Because without to navigate, so no go walk. And they tell them, without to navigate, so will be nowhere. And only one account. Una they tell with them so una honest opinion there to God. We all work as a team, including our brother and ourselves. He may not be sitting at the studio, but he's part of VSO for look at the country go before. So me brother and I don't know my for tell you, sir.
All right. Well, thank we caller, and I hope say you get this very clear as Mr. Kutubu don't doing best for answer, but like how Mr. Kutubu say, we go do we best for make sure say again. This in order for be one way, it gets for be both ways. If the administration they do well, for push we country go before, we go recognize that as well. Say they don't do well, and if side way we self key able for make them know say they need for improve on particular areas them, we go call them to it as well. And that then are something way I want to let everybody aware. So we go sort of we brought our way the weight. Let we take a quick commercial break and we'll come back with Mr. Suvi. We go join we and then for push this discussion go before me fumble them. So I don't know if you get something for say before we take a commercial break, Alpha or Professor.
No, take the break. Then we man come in. Let's have Robert as to how for the country go before.
Exactly.
Like that we need to know that the discussion today.
Exactly.
How we don't go to the social media, but how now we able to come out here from point A to point B. And now for really talk on today. No criticizing anybody, but we solution. So they go today. Let that be focused today.
I completely agree. And what I go do instead of a commercial break, let we hear from one of we presenters them. We tell yes, we kind of give we eye opener of what they go on and let we be mindful. So let we listen to them and we'll come right back with fumble them.
Action at Sierra Leone don't conclude since March 31st this year. But stay to this day, the people in a salon, when a politician, then supporter them, the standards by, the one they will sit down on the fence. Everybody seems so glued on politics that we not even think of what will make a country go before. Then we project the small country in Sierra Leone when for a little over 7 million people. I think say this why I saw a bad trend for we. And the more we people and they discuss politics, the more we they make like say this is not campaign season and they continue. Now the more we they divide. Some people and they deliberately bring a wedge between the tribes there. Some man go get something where he want for talk about. Where not very important thing, but it go come with some fresh tints of tribalism inside. Then go one for talk about APC, then go say Northern APC or Mende SLPP, which is all wrong. So my people them today, I want for them we all begin for look at waiting at the things then we for they do na Sierra Leone. For bring we come together as a people rather than divide we. Division not good for we. Tribalism not good. We all see what's happening in Rwanda, where politicians then become so greedy, then so want for this power that they make them people then go into conflict, then kill plenty people. Over 1 million people lost their lives. And they like it today, now then go they tell other countries, they say, we will not do that. We step na Sierra Leone don't get war. And we see what in war do. And when war come, and no one know if you na APC, SLPP, T4C, NGC, or what have you. When war come, if na bullets, then shoot. In order to go pick the person and say, oh, you come on the road because you there na me party. No. Everybody go suffer. If you the individual where they help for bring problem can at the country, not directly feel am, you must get a friend, a neighbor, somebody where you know, a distant family where go be affected. So let we make from this day on, let we make tribalism with enemy. Sierra Leone, we na one people. Me we sit down I saw me mama we born me. Na korankom madingo soso. Me papa na mende we get soso blood, we get Creole blood inside me family. We don't know what in a tribalism. We not see people as tribes. We see people as people. So do you have me family then? We all help for talk to we family them. So we friends them, we neighbors them, people that we all share forum them with. Say tribalism not so a good thing for them we promote now we country. That's now my opening monologue. Now action as Sierra Leone. Don't conclude since March 30.
All right, Fambulem, we get now guest with Mr. Patrick Sovi. So I go hand them over now to the host with Mr. Kutubu, and he getting guest for let it sets the stage. So over to you, Alpha Kutubu or we own Professor Kutubu.
Well, for now, welcome with brother Dr. Tubi and Patrick Sovi. Welcome, ma'am. And we say God thank he don't come for help. Push so I don't go before. We in our views, so we even glad because for one thing, the man a lawyer. So that the professionalism this will don't bring now. You can see there are going to be lots of silence that this place has so. It can't be now say we are not get for the wait for listening to news channel because we journalists they get a criminal libel law over their heads, so they're not going to talk. Who they gonna salute guys to do bring them to who did etc. So in that light say that welcome with brother Dr. Sovi, let's say let's say we now also again is see we also is see we now. We don't get independence almost 50 years ago now. He said you don't need a salary, you don't study there. And not say if you know of University of Salone where for big college be there for big college. You know of all the places now, you don't see the decline at the place. They get examination fraud, and they sell exam papers in the So one day, doctor, we now how he look at things and who say he want, he especially Salone will go. So you there, doc, pick them up for we.
Hello, good evening. Thank you very much, Mr. Kutubu. And good evening or good morning or good afternoon, viewers and listeners, as the case may be. And this is not Patrick Sophie for short. And straight to the question with regards to we see Sierra Leone they go. In my own personal opinion, I still get hope and optimistic. But I believe say we for start some side. And history tell me say from the thesis you go to from the antithesis you go to the thesis, then you talk about the current issue. When me say la broke down from your past, you talk to the present, then you talk about the future. And Sierra Leone, just like what Mr. Kutubu say, Frabe College, like one of the first university in sub-Saharan Africa, we established in 1827. I attend Frabe College. I take about 8 to 9 years now. Frabe College, do me first and second degree in Frabe College. But because of so many issues and the University of Sierra Leone and the country at itself, what they call Sierra Leone, we don't lack so many things and we don't drop because of lack of administration, corruption, greed, selfishness, nepotism, putting square pegs in round hole. But the main thing where they affect we now, where we not give for accept responsibility as a country or as a people or as a nation. We're different from other countries. We don't learn from the mistake like Rwanda. They get genocide. Not Rwanda, they don't go to war. Rwanda, they don't go to war. They get brutal civil war. When a genocide, Sierra Leone will not reach to genocide. Because genocide under international law, now ethnic cleanse the way they target one particular tribe and whether they kill multitude of people. Sierra Leone will not disintegrate into that. And that make people like we don't come, we don't take to the media, we try to give, we don't help and advise through the media. Because during the International Criminal Tribunal for Yugoslavia, what they call the ICTY, and the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, when the ICTY, and other commission them, the master study people them per law, journalism, international relations, don't prove say the media they play a key role for either fuel the war and for them make the war propagate to their country they. So, but like as an information specialist and a legal person, I believe say we go use the same means because just like what Mr. Kutubu they say, Sierra Leone gets stringent laws, they will get all archaic law, then like the criminal libel law and the 1965 Public Order Act, where they impede journalists in freedom, where they impede the freedom of information, where they impede the freedom of the press. So we can start and take them step by step, not jumble up because people they always say they go out of context. I don't talk in context. The reason for Sierra Leone, why Sierra Leone did so. Now the main reason is corruption. And corruption don't be a fabric, it don't be a cacaworm, it don't be institutionalized in our country because who they go school first then? If you go lay post you complain to police, you see the police say you see paper no day or pen no day. When are the job for providing in the day? And things that they happen in Sierra Leone were not correct because of the rule of law and separation of power, not they go according to how they go. So the first thing we have to talk about now, the love for a country. The love for a country. Most other countries like Ghana, like small Gambia where they near with Senegal, Guinea, even Liberia, the love, what they call patriotism, like the people that they try for portray. And most Sierra Leone go agree with me say the Sierra Leone people they want to go, people they want to come back. But the enabling environment, government for creator. And if we start with the law, but who mess up we don't they happen during the past government, and I don't mind for blame any political party, and I know they represent any political party, the views and recommendations why they give and solely the views of Patrick Sophie and not reflect, thank God I not belong to any political party. I speak as a Sierra Leonean. We for speak for Sierra Leone first, before Sierra Leone big past any political party. So until we get separation, absolute separation of powers and the rule of law in the country, we're not going to go no side. And most politicians, they can give fabulous statements in their speech, in their manifesto. They say, well, who can power. As we take power, so within the first 6 months or within the first year, we will separate the Attorney General's office and that of the Minister of Justice. And we will repeal and replace the criminal libel law. And we will give empowerment to women's participation in governance will increase. And we will provide jobs for the youth. We will make electricity. The people that further enter with all them promise and the pipeline program there. What is the actual Sierra Leone I want to see na performance? And that make like the current government win the mandate from the people through election and through the ballot box. And President Komade said the young government become from 2007 to current, and they be try. So the first thing I feel say, what this first current government don't do, I commend them, now the educational aspects. Because the education we don't go down the drones. Education, me they go school, I go both school from 1 to from 5, I do 6 from the academy, lower and upper 6 before I go for the college. I realize when I reach academy, Albert Academy, we be they go school na money, but the teacher they know the teach. We be get for they pay for extra lesson. Or they pay for extra lesson for gonna they go na Amaya. Up mountain court na Amaya, and then you go take class. And then most of the teacher they be the can, and they be the teach. So that student will not able to pay now 30,000 for month like 10 or 50,000 for month for one subject. If they end up for going to class na money in the academy, no teacher, no they teach. And you find out say now individual self-study and people like when a government are perseverance and we link to other students the way they be get the upper hand pass with their papa, then I be lawyer, then a doctor, they will be able to provide textbook there. So they be able to learn to them, then they will be able to read. But with the current dispensation with 20 president you don't do, I want Lord applaud the effort and for let it out free quality education in the country. So now a step in the right direction. However, the system they get for monitoring because would they get allegation, would they get information, say even the Commission of Inquiry they will set up some sort of monitor loss. Now the Ministry of Information, I don't know how to read that because that's now me not see documented. So when they beg and do ya, let them monitor. They can also they call monitor and evaluation mechanism in any way possible in management. And until they monitor the system and let we get absolute separation of powers, we country go able for develop. The second problem what they face now the powers from above. Powers from above, from the executive, they get separation of power where the 3 arms of government. The reason why to make the United States so powerful now that they practice separation of powers and rule of law. The executive know EU functions and role. And where it sidestep or where it jump or it overreact, it do something where no warrant them for do. You either get the Congress, whether the legislative branch and the judiciary, the Supreme Court of the United States, or a judge of the Supreme Court of Judicature, they come in and write the president and say, no, they slam a ban or Islam a moratorium. I say, no, that is we don't take, no, they under you for Guam as executive. But because of Sierra Leone nature and with system of government, one of the presidential system of government, and chapter, by extension, chapter 40 of the 1991 Constitution, where give the president enormous powers, and give the president too much power for hire and sack at will. And you find out, say, most of them key position them, where then they would be for independence, that they only get a blessing and appointment from the president through parliamentary approval. I can give you one. For example, the position of the chief of staff, the chief of defense staff, when at the head of the military, is subject to presidential confirmation, and the president they appoint and the president they fire. The position of the inspector general of police, when at the head of the police, now the president they appoint and the president they dismiss, and the president get right for doing at any time. You get the position of even the head of most parastatals, like the head of anti-corruption, or like the head of transnational crime organization like Topo. Most of the institutions that they will see say, or like the opposition of the Chief Justice. We realized recently get the relief justice and the former Chief Justice, Justice Cham, resigned. And we get we get other school of thought we talk saying that pressure and for resign because of they tell them to do something where you not agree for do. So the president forced her for resign. We get other school of thought we say he resigned voluntarily. But chapter 40 of the 1991 Constitution, they give the president the sole prerogative for hire and fire and for create ministries. Now that make it you see some government they can say, well, Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, or Ministry of Gender, or Ministry of Economic Development, or Office of the Chief of Staff. Now, if I say President Biodokan, he don't pull the Office of Chief of Staff. Now, he say, he don't create a new ministry where they call the Chief Ministry, the Chief Minister. And we realize that President Kuma said within a power, a create position of the Special Executive Assistant to the President, when a Dr. Sylvia Bladi. And a position equates to the position of the Chief Minister. But by and large, we get the position of the Vice President, when a key position, when a key role, when constitutional, and then at the Constitution, spell out the roles of the Vice President. So if we leader them, they go strictly by separation of powers and rule of laws, checks and balances, and they accept constructive criticism, then what will be able to see in a country, development will take place. And this takes me secondly to the role of the opposition. And any country not get an effective opposition, then the country they lead for doom. We don't realize that the APC, the All People's Congress, will be there in governance. Now that the main ruling opposition party. And they get 68 members of parliament now, the well of parliament. But some of the mistake then, or some of the slowdown start for happen because of the mandate and what the people that may actually vote for Sierra Leone. They vote for SLPP government for B, the president, when a President Julius Bio win, and they vote for APC government through the members of parliament for dominate the well of the house. But because of the technicality in the presidential system of government, and because of we lost them, now the lawyer then and the educated elite they cause the problem in the country. How? Because the court not be slam and injunction, it not be instruct the clerk of parliament or let them suspend or let them stop most of them members of parliament that they for subscribe to an O2 parliament open initially, then the vote for don't get a parliament for the position of the speaker. It not be for don't even be Dr. Abbas Budu. If it for don't be somebody of the APC character, or for don't be the speaker because they dominate parliament. But however, if for don't be a bottleneck, President Bio not be for not able for pass most of the laws there or in policy, they're not able to go through because it go bounce the parliament. Parliament are the supreme law making body. Where it come for law as Sierra Leone, parliaments are the supreme law making body. But then use political means and other legal means for go against them thing that they will end up for see Dr. Abbas Chelno Bundu as the Speaker of Parliament. However, we don't pass down there, Bokuti not cross the bridge. Now we they talk about the Commission of Inquiry. Commission of Inquiry a day part of the laws and some section of the Constitution they give the president. They say at any time they want to form a commission of inquiry, they can form them. But lawyer Charles Francis Maden don't raise some issue in accordance with section 150 of the laws of Sierra Leone, which clearly states say according to the Constitution, they say, well, you get a committee responsible for lay the rules and regulation for any commission of inquiry. We know we did be in previous commission of inquiries. However, as a legal person, the Bar Association, some members of the Bar Association and Lawyer Francis Magai and others, key stakeholders, don't take this matter na don't take this matter na the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone are the highest court of the land, and now they get the sole mandate for interpret who lost them. So me, as Patrick Sovi, as a law student, not even get the locus for talk about that, because it is sub judice under law. Now, till any trade on the Supreme Court, you don't keep talk about that, so I keep left standing. And Lord listen to the outcome of the Supreme Court. But what it don't clearly clear, and what it don't come out crystal clear na that the three instruments where they pass the parliament through a vote, where APC, the main opposition party, with a 68 votes, not able to get the two-thirds majority in the parliament, where warrant the other party then for vote in favor of the Commission of Inquiry, by way of the other party, the SFPP, the C4C, and the independent candidates for vote for in favor of this Commission of Inquiry. And the first thing will happen at that, after APC don't lose the mandate, they not get the two-thirds majority, automatically by law, parliamentary procedure, parliamentary act and procedure, they automatically give the speaker the mandate for let go ahead, for let instruct the clerk of the house, for let them go ahead and ask the president for let append his signature for that instrument, for let become law. And the moment where they don't allow that to happen, that instrument they don't automatically become laws of Sierra Leone. So as we talk, they are existing laws. So now, like when Mr. Kutubu they talked yesterday, any law we don't do in a parliament, we don't pass through parliament, they don't become an instrument. All the policy we go able to reverse and back are the Supreme Court. Then are through them petition they don't make, because that then get the institutional mandate for look into constitutional matters that Sierra Leone. So now, what you don't realize and what they happen, the APC political party, the opposition main political party, and other key stakeholders, including the leader of ADP, Mohamed Kamayema, including lawyer Francis Magai, when the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice, President Bureau government, don't raise some key concerns. We say, well, the Commission of Inquiry don't breach Section 150. I don't make that. I don't talk about that. Other people they say, well, the Commission of Inquiry is not free, it not go free and fair because then see as a witch hunt, because it will only target one particular tribe, or it will only target some people that of certain section. Wait to be not so true. And President Bill go back now, you know, as early as yesterday or day before yesterday, and it make some statement then where some people then find out say, according to them, they misunderstand or misconstrue what the president mean. The president say, I listen to his speech, he said, well...
Yeah, Mr. Patrick, can I interrupt you there? Let me bring Mr. Kutubu for like coming a little bit. And okay, before Una deliberate on the speech and stuff, I go nice after Mr. Kutubu don't rub mouth. Let me play the speech and people will go hear from themselves, and then Una pick up the areas them where Una feel safe for discuss. Because we want for let this thing be interactive. And yes, thank you so much for where you don't lay the groundwork for we. And over to you, Professor.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Yes, again, these are the pluses that viewers. Viewers get experts there. Now get experts in law, experts in politics, and everything. Yeah, even the one that me and Mr. Patrick will also engage in foreign affairs for discuss, diplomacy, international, and everything. But no, just not this way. Like you correctly say about this thing, and before it comes, and most of the things if we don't talk, I not talked on them earlier before it comes. Waiting for local the country go before again, we come back to this. All the institutional, all the arms of in governance, get for now stick with a constitutional responsibility. Parliament get for take the job very seriously, very, very seriously, because the Parliament, like he correctly said, the supreme law-making body. And of course, we'll talk about SALONE. We talk about a nation which thrive on the fundamental edifice of the rule of law. Now, the only thing that we talk about SALONE, nothing else. Not to the leader, not to the party. Not to the leader, not to the party, not to the individual. Now, the laws. Because everybody actually sublime to their law they did. So luckily, the lawyer don't lay that out, don't lay the premise out. So, in addition to this also, now all let we institutions them, let them understand see their obligation not to the political parties. Again, like he also make references to the United States there. Yes, you they come to office to the political parties there, the leaders there, but once you come back, what you go do now, the first way they ask you say, where my nation, who say my nation stand there? This is exactly now what the professor talk about. Now continue for Hammer that regardless of ideological differences, because like it says that we opinions are very different how they look at it. But at the end of the day, we get a crystal ball. The crystal ball is that the sovereign nation of SALONE and the crystal ball. So whatever we do, then we make sure, because the only thing that we'll get, we cannot afford to do anything where we kind of bring impediment to that contraption where they call SALONE. So the administrators, the Parliament, therefore, for example, how the Parliament be able to exercise how they call them oversight authority over the administration. One, through frequent hearings, we need to forget the Parliament where we call hearings, calling cabinet ministers, directors, from time to time for Canada, because when they do the Parliament, they talk for we the citizens, we all not go ask the ministers, the permanent secretary, but from time to time, the Parliament for the whole hearings, they for whole investigations also, because like we said, we don't need for wait until after 5 years, then we begin to, for example, when we look at the reports we come on, there have been discussion on 2 diamonds no common as we don't know anything about them diamond. For say they don't get a house, either finance committee or a committee where they deal with the kind of material for call for a hearing, then they call, from the stakeholders, for see whether the status of this, what may not happen to this, we be not yet say that one be not come, what may happen, because they are either handing over notes, neither this administration not tell anything. These are the things that the Parliament, 90 cities they rely on, because if the Parliament not do their work, we are doomed. We are doomed. Now that make people like Montesquieu them, I know say Dr. Patrick go agree with me. Say Montesquieu and John Locke, they were very far-sighted when they see it. They may therefore avoid power grab or dictatorship or totalitarian rule. And that made the craft 3 branches there say, you una they checkmate each other. You they check on this, you they check on, so that nobody not go, you go with your runaway power. So as we try for, like I always say, try for create an egalitarian and just society, we go give impetus to what may happen on April 27, 1961. All the organs of state and get for they up to the task. We also, as citizens, we get also for make sure say we get a say into who that they go with governance, who that they go now with parliament, who is going to be what. We want for a society where very issue oriented, and therefore begin hold them accountable. Therefore, they hold them accountable. Waiting make big power Bush the lost election in America, George Bush in Papa. One statement I made, he said, read my lips, no new taxes. Then he add the tax. Once you add it, they say, oh, but that part not get credibility. Everything will do. So I know say Mr. Patrick will agree with me, say about a lot begin the whole we politicians are accountable to the promises that they make. So when the time comes, we will say, well, when they come, we don't check all this that we say that this you not do. So in light of that, we pass judgment. And me believe say the ballot box, the validity of the sanctity of the ballot box are the most potent weapon that when the citizens they get. To me, that the more potent past the the bomb will be for on Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Because then they decide your fate. That paper when they go him, either they him against you or they him for you. So before we open the line again, I don't know if Mr. Francis go on Rob but very quick and see how it waited. Then after that, I'll open the line. That with 3 institutions of government, they really now get for the up to the task. But unfortunately, I get for the it might sound very opinionated, but in me, consider judgment and candid opinion. With 3 branches, they actually not really don't do what the citizen and be expect of them. So we hope going forward now, this next branch of governance we don't come, they will now begin to turn to the citizenry. So back to you, Mr. Patrick.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kutubu. I think you don't hit the nail on the head. The United States Constitution gets 3 arms of government, just like Sierra Leone, and they get a complete book what they call a federalist and anti-federalist papers, written by James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and others. They clearly state and Uda enrolled, written up this person enrolled. Like when you talk about signed treaties for wage war, which departments were responsible for that, or which organs of government were responsible for that, and for make law. But because the Sierra Leone we talk about, let's go back to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone gets the same 3 arms of government, a separation of powers, and we get a blend of parliamentary and presidential system of government. However, the office of the president in Sierra Leone is so powerful that there are anything where you do in Sierra Leone where they involve the office of the president, either directly or indirectly. Now that's their victory. As soon as people that don't want president and the chief justice, when at the head of the judiciary, now independent branch, but a position subject to collect its own chief justice or a position, a day in the hands of the president. The president, section 40 of the constitution, give power for sack the chief justice at will. Like when President Biodo appoints my Lord Chief Justice Babatunde Edwards as Chief Justice right now, President Biodo grabbed by the power invested with them in chapter 40 of the constitution. Now they say, I've been satisfied. When they tell them they have the appointment, they say, I've been satisfied and please His Excellency the President. Whether not President Poma Bidede, whether not President Biona Wedede, Chapter 40 of the 1991 Constitution give the President enormous powers. And when not only first, they will get the office of the Prime Minister, you get the office of the President, with like the British system of government, where the Queen gets your ceremonial functions and ceremonial powers, and or you get the other. For Sierra Leone, the President gets so much powers. And most of them people they army people there, what people have to do for professional, we need to say freely. Now then job that they try for secure. And like the reason we make like I can give like Sansumana issue. The vice president, former vice president Sansumana. The constitution clearly states the rule constitutional matters based on opinion. The rule based on facts. They go to the call possession of fact and possession of law in law. And the rule based on facts and law. But because of the former acting Chief Justice, the one let President Kumar retain when a Justice Valentius Thomas. Because by the time when they be the good ruling, then they be acting Chief Justice. What do you do? You go rule by opinion. And when rule by opinion, any decision when they come out from the Supreme Court, that's final. So that's all Lord and the Supreme Court are the highest court of the land. Any decision where they come out, are final. But because of the people they know they serve the conscience, because when you turn any position where you take, including that of the office of the president, you they subscribe to an oath. When you say you they swear allegiance, say, well, I they can't forget dispense justice with true, without fear, without favor. So Lord help me. And they can either give a Bible or they give a Quran or they give a Torah or they give other things. But most of the leaders there, or most of the so-called educated people there, they don't get the country at heart. They only get the country in mind. And the position of the Chief Justice, where they resign as Chief Justice, one of the benefits where they carry, where they retire as Chief Justice, then Justice Cham, the former Chief Justice, the same money where they pay you as Chief Justice, where you retire, the same money that they pay you. And you get certain benefits then as Chief Justice, as former Chief, as a retired Chief Justice. You get right to police, security, you get right for a government quarter, you get right, you salary. That's what the Constitution make you salary where you resign with, or where you retire with. Now that salary they pay you. So because of money, because of selfish pleasure seeking, most of the so-called educated elites then, they decide for betray the country and mortgage the integrity. Where we not the seen at the West. And now that most people they afraid for talk. And but if I now say we in the young generation, now they take the bull by the horn, people that can see the massive and wonderful, excellent job where the commissioner for anti-corruption they do, whether Francis Benkefala. And you get three institutions in Sierra Leone where they get strict terms. When an institution like the Office of the Bank Governor, they get their own terms according to the Bank Governors Act. For said, you know, for just Kanomo, you remove them. And even the Office of the Anti-Corruption, they tell you say, they get a term like the former anti-corruption man will be dead, including like the Office of the Ombudsman, when a mayor on Ikuwisim be dead. They get their own strict terms because everything they want to speak is institutional and for let democracy work. Good governance get for their place. The president and any government get for the follow their rules and they. But sadly, in our country, because of Allman they try for serve the president, and Allman they try for bootlick or gain favor from government, and the government instead they try for put in your people that they way he believe, in your people that they way he satisfied. When he say that they are able remote there. So when they come, any government will come, then they put their man the day. The final say from the office of the speaker, when they come, they vote. Now as Abbas Bunu did when I SFPP man, the office of the anti-corruption, the post de Francis Benkefala, there's not an Escoma, you possibly did. Mayor Ikuwisi will be the act as the office of the ombudsman. He said the pull and now we get Jenkins Johnson Jr. weighing at the head of the office of the ombudsman. But that institution they also democracy, they work true democracy, not to lip service. Then terms and conditions spelled out in the various acts because now independent institution. We realize that like even the Human Rights Commission, President Kumabi do appoint people like Justice Rashid. Most of the people that will be there, they do in previous government, so they don't come, they don't replace them. And if Sierra Leone will not go by the rules and regulations, by the dictates of the law, will not follow the law, then what will go end up and forget now a vicious cycle. When these governments come, they put their own people there. When the other governments come, they say pull land, they put their own people there. And that will be done the deeper way, different from other countries. Like Ghana, the current Chief Justice where they didn't be in the past governments. And a continuity. The government they come, they look at key people, they're not based on tribe and settlement. And at this, they affect you. The Commission of Inquiry, all men want the Commission of Inquiry, including me, Patrick Sovi, are they in favor 100%. But I'm not going to in favor of any institution, any Commission of Inquiry, where they try for target one particular group. It's totally wrong. Selective justice, not to justice. And now that make, I believe, say, the president, not enlisting president, and Dr. Kane Yimkela, in his wisdom, also gave a select point. I listened to a AYB statement where say, what did they cause most of them here now? Because of then they will try for rush the parliament. When they count them bill there or they count their instruments there, they not give parliament adequate time for them to look into the nitty-gritties, let them check and cross the T there and dot the I there, and let them look thoroughly into them here. But then they rush them, and they're going to vote, and we don't lead, USA don't lead so now. Maybe this is my personal opinion that if the Canada say the Commission of Inquiry they start this January, if there's small bottleneck there, not be there, like it does start. But I believe that the president, I listen president, he don't talk. Now, we can't talk about a message where say the Commission of Inquiry go hold, and anybody will go stand in its way. Then, for let it stop the Commission of Inquiry, then the law will take its course. We will 100% support. But would they appeal to the president? Would they appeal to His Excellency the President, with the Commander-in-Chief and Fountain of Honor of the Republic of Sierra Leone? You vote, you come into power on the mandate for can rule or dispense justice fairly. You first oath of office where you take, you say you come for can rule, you're the president for all man. And I don't believe the president be for encourage any sacred cow. You don't forget no sacred cow. Any minister we don't serve na Dr. Anes Bakuma in government. If they say all ministers for tender their passport, if the Commission of Inquiry they come for can probe into former ministers, Dr. Denis Sandy and under Dr. Minister that will be don't serve under the previous administration, they said equally for go through the same process. But because of former minister under the APC, when Dr. Denis Sandy, when I sack them, be sacked under President Kuma in government. Now, Canton Secretary General for the GTT report, when they begin make the GTT report, they find it Dr. Denis Alina be Secretary General for that committee there. So most people that they talk say, well, because of that, the Commission of Inquiry, they target few people there and left other few people there because Dr. Denis Sandina, Southeasterner, or again, lineage to President Bio or SFPP. So they don't left them up the hook. You get people that like Honorable Musa Tarawali, where the Shias Commission become say, you know, any public office. Yes, people like Honorable Musa Tarawali, they don't serve na President Kuma in government. And if Commission of Inquiry they come, the Sierra Leone populace they look for see if people like Musa Tarawali they can they for place and they for ask because of the minister. But if you get left some people there, you only target some other people there. Then the APC party as an opposition, they say go get right for say, well, seeing the targets there. If not me, that's how I would say. Because so let them rule. Then the APC party and other people that they ask for let them involve the permanent secretary then. The reason why they call permanent secretary, when they say permanent secretary, they call them permanent, including the current president, the current secretary to the president, Dr. Julius Sandy, and your uncle. Then send the day, Dr. Sandy be the work na office of the vice president. So people that they call for let them say, let them try all man, let them call, let them make it clear, be transparent, let it be fair, let it free from bias, and let them give them a wide publication. Let government, let them cover, let television and TV and radio program, let them cover them. Let all man see, let them set the rules of evidence. Then the Supreme Court will decide on that now. And thank God the three judges will get 2 foreigners and get 1 Sierra Leonean of impeccable character. Justice Thompson, now one of the judges will get for seats by the Commission of Inquiry. The 2 other judges, one they come on Nigeria and one they come on Ghana. So far, that 3 judges don't consent, we government don't contact, and they said already for camp for let us start the Commission of Inquiry. Thank God, the Minister of Works, when a Remion Justice Judge, they don't almost complete the special court for renovate outside the Commission of Inquiry will start. So let President Bio put in foot because the question is delay is dangerous. Justice delay is justice denied. And if you don't give people their time, part of President Barack Obama in weakness, now when you draw a red line and see there, maybe tell President Bashar al-Assad, say, if you cross this red line, or if you drop nerve gas by you people, then we will strike. And if you reach a time where President Bashar al-Assad of Syria, they use nerve gas and they attack the court, and President Obama not be able to do nothing. So then they be escalate the war. What different from the decision of President Trump? President Trump gets all his weakness, but when he warn you, he tell you, say, if you do this, I will do this. And they choose in executive power as president. And with president for show leadership quality, they fail for realizing they're not to opposition again. It's too much blame game for oh, that's what I do. Two wrongs does not make a right. In that can solve the problem of Sierra Leone, President Bio.
Okay. Okay, wonderful, Mr. Patrick. And what you want for do is, because for some reason Mr. Kutubu don't be sidelined for too long, but let we play that video of the president in speech, and then let we sort of discuss on them, and let we come back to the main topic. And really, Mr. Patrick, you don't give people a whole lot, and thank you for that. And let we just kind of show people this video, and then we'll come right back. Mr. Kutubu will pick up first and let Iggy your take on the speech, and maybe you talk a little bit, and then we open the phone lines, because it's nice for let people involve as well where we go into the discussions. So let we just kind of open up. Thank you. And not a long speech actually, and a very short speech, and the one we give particularly inside the mosque. So let we listen. Let we watch and listen to them, please. Thank you.
One way from an remind me this week, he said, we have one beautiful idea in this country. But we not tell the world, say, that's all we did. And the only side is inside mosque, the priest or reverend, the guy before they talk. If they go to church, you see, imam to have an altar and they talk. No problem, no day. This not the happen on one side, not the world. In fact, it's not the business, they don't remember themselves. Who said they want to come together and a problem and faith? It's not the business. So now one good thing that but we in this country, so our hotel will take and encourage you for who will continue. We got to go talk together, but since I did now, from the time we are done in our office, we will know say education is important for personal and national development, and even global peace and security. We don't say all beginners for good school. We don't launch down there. We don't see another so. Yeah. How we do it? One morning when we the first step, now we just gather. We say this one nobody know the interval, give the people the back. Go pay for the people in there. Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Takbir! Now that makes sense. Some people they don't want to account for what they don't do. Then they say the commission and which one also. When you look at which ones come and do, that money we don't take. Now we say better give it. We don't want to put person again. Just as I say yes, I take this. We bring up, we put up a school or hospital or help the vulnerable. The non-talker. Allahu Akbar! Takbir! Takbir! You see some people in the wrong for the commissions of inquiry also. Yes. When commissions of inquiry belong in all the time also. Yes. 2007, where SNP belongs. The institute commissions of inquiry. When I hear it, so my hearing also. SNP not pull press release for say the fact. SNP not pull no paper for sure say na this tribe or na this region. No. Minister they did they go to that court today for nearly 1 year. They not find nothing. Now, we say, go check back. When I can't tell you how I use the country money, they say they're effective. They want to divide the country, they want to do this. I just want to let people know say, wait, we know they run after nobody. Now when I'm going to run after who catch up, the capital back, now when I hand. Allah! So we need your support. For sure, the good we already particular in this government, ambulance, they use them for politics. The Minister of Health in Naya, they don't gather all, we don't fix all. And all the other districts, we don't send the ambulance the day. Now your ambulance don't come with medicine. Ambulance are free of charge. They located at different parts of Kono district. Now you have to make sure say they don't put good day or use them for good other things. Now property. Or somebody go for them and we need for crime go to any medical center to may receive quick attention. Now that means we don't do this. Now property there. All that side there, how we do our money, when they don't the thief, now we don't stop, now we don't find the people there. Now ambulance. The free quality education, we don't pay for all the beginning. We don't bring books and learning materials there. And we therefore continue to make sure say, not to win no more for Sabibu. Now you're picking the all for Sabibu. Because the world we live in today, if you're not Sabibu, it's difficult. And when we don't go through this train, we want to make sure so now you're picking not go through this train again. So we want men who support it. Get plenty good news for now. But not to put all inside this mosque here. Because people are not making glad, they will not be glad inside the mosque. So with the kiss them of the good news, we're going to feed, we talk to everybody. We want for make for no no say, we are not a man, we will talk so to we do one. The one that we did that Juma where they come, I say where I win, I can't say when I take it. And the take it I can't say when I today. And tell when the sport in the world don't do. But that we don't pick that free education. 1 year no more from SALONE. Allah! Not to wait no money, we don't make no sign. We will gather no more, so they are young people with the yoke and open. We will gather, they need to go gather, now we say no more. For many people, when it's going to go before. So, we want to say thank you to Una. And you know the type of other, Roman and left for land. You know, you just give free education, but you don't secondary school. We get formation, say university. Can inside Corona. The news is good and it's plenty. And when I know say what job they do and not so, not to politics with the talk and do. So may I tap Naya and tell them plenty thank you. I'm glad you for them tonight.
All right, well, Fambulem, we tell Una plenty thank you. So the video that the president in speech, we boku people will agree saying a powerful speech. But before I pass them over to Una, I just want quickly show people this other thing based on the speech here within some of the comments them. And particularly this press release where the Muslim people last show people and then I go read them for now and I send them to now, but I go read them along and then send them to now now let una pick up on them. So just for let people get the understanding. So this way at the show at the program at the page. So now a press release we come up from the concerned National Muslim Jamaat and say now across the country. So the press release now from today, actually the 20th. And I for say plenty thank you to the person we send them to me because now something we don't they make rounds now social media. So the speech say the concerned National Muslim Jamaat across the country have utterly condemned the statement of war pronounced by President Julius Maada Bio at the Central Mosque in Kono Town. The concerned National Muslim Jamaat is deeply dissatisfied that a Catholic Christian president can go for a prayer in Allah's mosque and marks a public inciting statement of war against his opponent. So then continue for say, this statement must not be tolerated as it is a deliberate ploy and provocation to destroy the long-standing healthy relationship between the Muslims and Christians community in Sierra Leone. So it continue for say, I will go through down the page now, as waiting a continue for say, and then continue for say, the concerned National Muslim Jamaat are demanding for a retraction of the pronouncement of war uttered by President Julius Maada Bio and do an apology to the country and the Muslim community at large. So then continue for talk about this press statement, continue for say, I just pull the whole thing here. It continue for say, consequently, if President Julius Maada Bio fail to do a retraction of his statement of war and apology to the nation, the concerned National Muslim Jamaat will be left with no option but to stage a peaceful demonstration on Friday, 25th January 2019 after Juma prayers across all mosques in the northern region and Freetown. End of press release. And this is signed by Grand Amir Sheikh Hafiz Ibn El Malik. So that's not the press release, and I will pass them to Una, the host, when Mr. Kutubu, and the panelist or the guest, where they do a fantastic job, and through them to Una, as this, it only make social media around. And we say, let we talk about things them way they go around now the social media. So let Una sort of give Una take, and upon Una upon Una okay for open the phone lines. So over to you, Mr. Kutubu.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you again, my guest, Mr. Patrick. First, I go quick to this parliament business. Earlier on, Una all recall at stress the facts, the three branches of government, everybody get for do work. For let any MP can complain, say the government in the charge for stampede them or drag them to a precipitate commitment by reason of the fact that they bring bill, they not given time, then they vote for them. To me, a fundamentally troubling for say the least. The parliament must be very independent of the executive. They get for taking time for deliberate issues them. They get for taking, they not for the under any rush whatsoever. We bring a day, left and day. When they don't, they go send them. But for here, say parliament, they complain. That left much to be desired. That goes actually again to the heart of the argument. We need for actually the look at some of them guys they are going to send a parliament for see whether they really get the capacity for day and for representative. Because in this saddest pronouncement this way I don't hear. Now, in terms of the commissioners, we guest Mr. Patrick Ifado, this may sound a bit self-serving, but again, you're like when they talk now, things fall apart. See, they say the lizard will jump from the Ioko tree to the ground on earth. We praise himself if no man does. I want to take particular credit for the appointment of one of them, George there, the Ghanaian Judge Justice William Atugoba. And when, as a matter of fact, I will take again another credit again. From day one, I called for commission of inquiry from day one. Go on, and the government pick up. But I hate for tell anybody. I don't know nobody in this government here, so I know they talk to nobody. But I don't know if something they go inside the head or then they go inside the head. When it comes and picking up justice system, people them are being talked to. We get a lot of questions about we jury system. So for give fairness, for this inquiry for be seen and we have fair, now go out. So I will recommend Justice William Atugoba from Ghana. God make his name come up. In Nigeria, I be recommend Prince Bola Ajibola, we then the Attorney General na Nigeria and he serve as a judge na the World Court. Unfortunately, Justice Bola Ajibola did not pick him up. But this man decided, where they pick, I must tell everybody, now one of the straightest guy in that way you can ever think of Bankole Thompson. I can tell anybody, if anybody get reservations about any judge at Salone, please make sure say Bankole Thompson now one person where you know go get any reservation because we know this man. When they say somebody will embody and personify integrity, principles, commitment, devotion, patriotism, Bankole Thompson now one inner an embodiment of everything we original and profound about Salone. We tell God thank you, we get a guy like Bankole Thompson. And I can assure anybody, then 3 judges here, especially William Atugaba, because I know what this man do in Ghana. I make an extensive background, I read about him, and I make a flout in him, and I'm glad one way or the other, I don't know how the government, I'm glad when the government pick up. That said, now come to this mosque, the Eastern and the mosque. I go on left the president speech to my guest, but here's what we will talk about. About time, we say we must last year, we must say not to place for politics. About time, don't tell them straight up. Not tell the imams them and the sheikhs them. Say we place not to place. The only thing we must say for that for go pray to Allah. About time, they'll send a message they have to them. Anybody will go now because everybody will agree with me when the politicians say of the Christians when they go to church, then they sit down at the pew. The pastor in there they up yonder, but then they sit down at the pew. He like they say you know president. We don't see now, the president of United States now they don't attend national services in now. Now we own whatever Westminster Abbey or whatever we own now, we all worship in Cathedral. When the presidents they go, then they sit down at the pew. And they sit down the only person where they did at the pulpits now the pastor. I know more they talking. But it don't be a point now, it don't become a pattern of conduct where we lead us them. And what is even egregious about this? I mean, I will hope say ministers they not see me as somebody we try for be one way na a bigot. Bigotry na one thing that way in order in me. As a matter of fact, even though I'm a Muslim, but I'm more vast in the Christian way of doing things because I attend a lot of Christian functions and people will be surprised. I know a lot of things there in the Christian business, past even the Muslim business. And what's good about Salone, what again makes Salone good? Now the ecumenical interaction with it, the spirit of ecumenism. We don't know whether na Marabu, we don't know whether na Christian entity, we don't know. But down there somehow we get for work a careful line. Then we must treat there not be a place where politicians they may go preach politics there. Now strictly, yes, we will welcome everybody for let them go pray it. But we allow the whole political speeches outside the realms of that. Now that we want to talk on, and when we open the line, we'll go back to Mr. Patrick. Let him expand on this speech and any ramification. Back to you in the studio, sir.
All right, let me give Mr. Patrick just quick moment. Let's say just shortly, waiting and take, and then we open the phone line. So that way the people are able to get both sides. So over to you, Mr. Patrick. Just brief one, please.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kabo, and to listen audience and Mr. Kutubu. Then I would like to take notes because I can let for the exact thing of putting the comment. From what I gather from President Bio's speech, an officer he amount to what they refer to as incitement or instigation or political motivational speech, simply because they start for talk about religious tolerance. When one of the biggest assets that we Sierra Leone gets, it compares Sierra Leone to other countries. They will say, well, Sierra Leone are the only country you go to mosque, you talk with you and talk, you go to church, you talk with you and talk. And when the other religion not go target you, we're different from, you know, go Nigeria, you talk about You know, Ukraine and Nigeria and Zamfara state, for example, they talk against Muslims, a problem. And religious tolerance is so vivid now in laws that when they say bishop that they go to mosque and imam that they cannot church. Me, Patrick Sovin, a Christian. Why they Kuwait? I don't live Kuwait for more than 10 years. Now Kuwait, I've given my life to Christ. I mean, they go to mosque. I they speak Arabic fluently. But I don't mean say me religion, I mortgage me religion. Because of religious tolerance and the respect for the Muslims, and majority of the people they have the hope for are Muslims, the company can go to a Muslim country, I'll be obliged as a manager of a Kuwait oil company for the Gona mosque. And the Quran says, allow some God now one, they're not born between and they're not born now. And the Bible they tell you about religious tolerance also. Psalm 75 they talk about hesitation cometh not from the east, not from the west, but from God Himself. And under the laws of Sierra Leone, anything when Imam the Tibak to talk, or the pastor Tibak to talk, or the member of parliament then at the well of parliament a talk. They get what they call immunity. They're not going to hold them accountable for what they can talk. So with what the president talk, the second thing the president talk, I know he says some amount to incitement because it starts for give thanks and appreciation, and it starts for give accountability and transparency, and it starts for give inference to waiting the former government will do whether because the Senegal Jamet Commission of Inquiry President Poma become how they be they ask former members of government for the SLPP, including people like Dr. Alpha Uri and other stakeholders like the current energy minister, whether they go to commission of inquiry during the APC term. He said the SLPP not be complain and the SLPP not be say this not be there and that not be there. He said so you know see reason why now where instead don't come in what set up a commission of inquiry, done the people that they say well this not if I include this for day, this not for day. And it talk about the accountability of the ambulance. When are the role of the government will fall under Chapter 3 of the 1991 Constitution. Now, government is sole responsibility for provide basic essential services, including vehicles, including hospitals, including housing for we people there. So I don't see that now laudable venture where the president they try for reports to the people there. And the next thing we talk about now the free quality education. We say, in no one in your picking and no more be educated and left all man. So now make the free education we count not only the benefit the Mende man or not the only benefit the Timmy man, but in and for that benefit the Kono man as well, benefit all man. But in English language, thank God being a literature student, they get what they refer to as denotation and connotation. Rabbinic English that you bring them down. Denotation are what you talk with subject to a word associated with it, and connotation are something they talk with a contrary meaning with subject to what it associated with it. So like the word where the president talk where he say, if for let it bring commission of inquiry, for let the account, let the after the whole people there for the stewardship, and let people they account for past money that we don't give them. When they call you say, come, can't give you your report, can't give you stewardship. People then say it's amount to war. They say we're in ready for fight the war of corruption. Where I mean say the people then get a misconstrue the Muslim Jama according to your press release where they say the president they come with the president they go issue one, they say the president they take a bishop. We don't know if they say they refer to the archbishop. And the actions, they said according to the president, the actions provocative and unlawful behavior, and it will bring tension at the country. And the statements, they say the statements that incite the statements, and then statement that they happen at the mosque, where according to them, it not go down well with them because they're not for allow a bishop for go na a mosque for go talk about commission of inquiry or go talk about accountability or transparency. We're subject to because we don't know if the archbishop winner Dr. Henry Tambachas if it actually be there, I don't know. Because he say archbishop, you refer to the head of the Catholic mission. And the current archbishop now Dr. Henry Tambachas and Akono. and Dr. Tambachas na kono by national by a tribe, and President Bio na Catholic, Dr. Samuel Kamara na Catholic, me party of USC Dona Misa na Catholic. So I don't know if Dr. Henry Tambachas, when the Archbishop of the Diocese of Kenema and Freetown and Bo, the day na the mosque. That you get for investigate. 2, waiting at Dr. Tambachas in role, because Dr. Tambachas na kono, and if he be say anything at the mosque. 3, the people that give strong warning and they say, then they ask the president for retract in statement where he give. And they get a date up to the 25th of January where they say, if he fail to do that, then they will stage a peaceful demonstration. Now all the mocks them. Well, a peaceful demonstration under international law, not legal, and not admissible, not applicable, was it done within the ambit of the law. What I mean, when you want to do any demonstration with loss of the 1965 Public Order Act, they tell you say, if you obtain an exit, or if you obtain a document from the Inspector General of Police, and ask and say you want do a peaceful demonstration, when a right of institution, but meanwhile let them boil down to that. Meanwhile, let the president go back, let it open ear, let it express, it tell the people that what it actually mean. Because English language, like Mr. Kutubuki said, that's way elastic. You can talk something and other man can interpret for me, other thing. So, because when people that they come for demonstrate willingly and do peaceful demonstration at all the mobs, the first thing where you therefore get for no, it gets some ramification, it gets some consequences because the Muslim population dominates up to 75% of the Sierra Leone population. The Muslim religion are the highest religion in terms of mass. Now the world, the Muslim religion are the highest. The Christian Sierra Leone, the Muslim population of Sierra Leone, beaucoup past the Christian population. And then Imam the day and then Sheikh the day, they will get journey concern for go and demonstrate peacefully. But because of the already political tension where we don't take at the country, we don't know peradventure who that they go join the people then they where then go they part the peaceful demonstration, where they not go able to manage the situation, we go escalate into violence or it will come to disorderly behavior, where the police and the army, where their role, their sole role now for provide safety, security, and stability and sanity in the country, not go allow anybody for go that treat and do that thing a day.
All right, great point, Mr. Patrick. Kawale, you kind of all on it because really this, I like the twist where you take on it. So now something where we need for discuss because let people know very well say not to anything against like how you put against the Muslim Association, but this now that where you talk when we go say unintended consequence. So the T way they not intend for like we not for done. So let we open the phone line and let we hear you waiting people and go talk and that then statement and the way you last make so and Mr. Kutubu said go kind of piggyback on that. Like we use this platform for appeal as advice or solution because this still let we kind of address them, but let we take the first call. VS Network, hello caller, waiting your name and who say the call phone please.
Yeah, how are you, sir? Everything. I call from New York. This time, Fatima to talk.
All right, Madam Fatima, thank you so much for what you call and waiting your question or contribution on this tonight.
My own contribution towards whatting the Imam then talk about and the press release. Mother Bio no get the right for Tokuti talk at the mosques. I believe it should be other places to talk about what he wanted to talk about. It was the wrong place to talk about what he was talking about. That's politics. Now, politics exactly now take care of good and mocks. And that's not my one say.
And dear Abeg, sorry for putting you on the spot because they try for bring solution or they try for bring Sierra Leoneans them together as well. You were able to tell we specifically waiting at the particular thing where you feel say a wrong, where it say, please, just for clarify.
Okay. Make I just say a few of them because it's like I'm not going to remember everything because me picking all well. At the same time I dey watch you now. I just dey pick up few things them and stuff like that. The way we talk about the commission of inquiry, that's the wrong place to talk about it. Even in Sese talk say he go get for go talk to the people and now the corner people he go greet, not to the inside the mosques. Where you want talk now though if you go talk to the corner people them. Where you go talk now mosques, that mean only a particular people them, set of people them you go talk to. You understand? About the commission of inquiry, them that particular part day we talk about say the money within thief. Now, you know, all anything a day is like it's just not appropriate. That's not the place to talk about it. It's outside. Talk to the Kono people, the whole Kono people. Like where we go now, we talk to all man. Now, like where you go, how you call it? If we go McKinney, you go talk to all Mike and talk whatever I feel for talk. But when you go inside mosques, if you get certain place things then the way you for talk about, just like we go to church. We don't talk what you get for talk. They won't come on. They can express whatever concern we get about what people don't do, the people they don't thief, the commission of inquiry, all anything and that's no more me go able to come up with what I now.
Okay.
You know well.
Yes.
They watching in and out, you know.
We really appreciate that and dear say us for we and let God give and speedy recovery and thank you so much. So we understanding is Mr. Kutubu and Mr. Sovi then get waiting you waiting a point. Thank you very much, my sister. Let's take the second call. We'll go take 3 call and pass them over to we speakers then. VS Network. Hello caller, waiting a name and who say the call from please? VS Network, caller you there on? Waiting your name and who say the call from? Alright, well we'll take the other call then. VS Network, hello caller, waiting your name and who say the call from?
Good evening, Khadija Tijan Rabi.
Good evening.
From New Jersey.
Good evening, Madam Khadija. Thank you so much for we join we. And for disclosure, Madam Khadija now one of the presenters then here. So as Sierra Leonean is definitely in a part of this discussion. So go ahead, Madam Khadija. Waiting you take on everything we don't discuss. We that don't discuss now the panel. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I want to thank you to both Mr. Kutubu and Mr. Patrick for taking the time for do this show tonight. Let me go back for a minute. If my memory can serve me well, the first time we get this such example, now we Alpha side of Ingona Salone, use the House of God for alter some statements that we having to do with politics. Then you come out today, also one of the flag bearer from the APC, instead use the same venue for make some political statements. Then now forward to the current president. I believe say the place is inappropriate. I believe say the current president forget the confidence in the leader of the country, and I believe say it gets a lot of different venues the way it can use for speak to the nation, because it's not a national issue, not a religious issue having to do with just the Muslim community. So if you get places like a venue like SLBC, if that's what they call them, I'm sorry if I did put that wrong, we get AYV. You understand? I believe say those are the venues that way appropriate for such speech. And this take me back to one of the session we'll get having to do with communication. Communication very important, and right now we're in a critical state. You understand? So certain things the way it need for addressed in the appropriate place and time. If you join the Muslim community for promote religious tolerance, that was excellent. intention might not have been bad, having to do with him trying to, for proof to the people, say it gets this in goal, and they try to accomplish one or two things, but the time and the place was not right. So I go healed here for now. Now I will give other colors then time for coming and add to contribute as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Khadija. And similar situation in terms of the place. Let me take one call from WhatsApp, and let we waiting this call again for say VS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting your name and who say the call from, please.
Hello, Mr. Kabo. My name is Mohammed Kuroma. I'm calling you from Canada, Manitoba.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kuroma. And waiting you take on the issue tonight, please.
The issue is, I don't listen most of the other callers, and then they talk, say the president not supposed to talk na the mosque or na the masjid, is supposed to talk outside to the public. The first thing I just think over, I hope say the president he will get this one, or whosoever listed he will pass on to the president. First thing, I hope say the president gets a committee before ever he go pay a visit to any other organization or any town. He go make a guidelines. He say, okay, this is my speech. He go get who that go make for on the speech. He get consultation. He they consult the people. This time they can go to with people like maybe 1 or 2, 3 people, and they go advise and they say, Mr. President, here is an error, or here is, then go able to get a profound speech for Kelgo to in people. But president for just grab promo, he go talk to the people. Most of the time, then they get blamed to we own people, especially Sierra Leoneans. They always we they look na the na the gallop any side way be say na in a gallop they find a reason or we they find fault to we own leaders. They. But me, I they beg the president or whosoever be closer to the president, whosoever they listen to me. Anytime the president they pay a visit somewhere, may the president get a team where they consult for the speech where he get for good deliver to in people. That time they go ease or he go reduce a lot of mistake from the president. I not go say the president is right or wrong or because of it. Now you know the president. Why? We they blame the president almost all the time. But if they go talk now the masjid, now the people then get the right for go speak to them. So if you speak at the masjid, I hope say either you be a Christian or a Muslim, the blessed they reach you. But the other correction again, the president he get for talk to the people there openly instead of go at the one part of religion. Yeah. Now that one they no more I get for tell you. Now then 2 things and they no more I get.
Well, thank you so much, my brother, and I will pass them over now to both Mr. Kutubu and Mr. Patik for letting up more on waiting the 3 callers that don't say thank you. God bless. Bye-bye. So I will pass them over now to Mr. Kutubu and Mr. Patik for letting up more as another waiting the callers then say. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. We thank the callers all. And I go back to my original statement. What did the president need for the do? He need for the once on a while meet with the press again, talk to the country as a whole, holding press conferences once on a while. They send a message across the board to the whole country, especially on your program there. Are totally opposed to the masjid being used as a conduit, as a venue for political messages. Then this time I get serious reservations. I rather prefer an open gathering where you kind of be very ecumenical. You get Christians, you get Muslims, you get everybody an open gathering. But this mosque, being used because, like I say, I mean the leaders also are not using the churches there. We know they see. They go to church, they address church. Because when they go, they are very composed, then they sit down, listen to the pastor at the pulpit, they talk when they know. They mostly, shake hands and things. But in we own place, all the time, we imams there, we shake them, we knife them. They always say, give the politicians a platform inside God used. And in the process, whilst talking in an act of, demagoguery, trying for appeal to the calculus of, people then, they can say things that they may not mean them. They may not mean them. But, again, just like where Mr. Patrick said, talk about the elasticity of the English language or the way how we conceptualize things, how we rationalize things. So, man, they now sort of get something against so he capitalize on some. See, whether for Komoya, he make a mole out of mountain or he go build and take an Everest. So the solutions to this here, let the leaders and the meet people there. Generally, outweigh everybody could need it. But really, inside the masjid for actually be strictly for a place of worship. Go pray to God, talk to God, let God help with, and do politics outside. And I'm your contribution is to on this, sir. Back to you at the studio.
All right. I guess let we pass on to Mr. Patrick and let Rob Motpanam and let he tell we waiting and take on this. Because this thing, like how you say no more, we got to be careful because the religion, SALONE, the Muslim, then be of majority. And where it can par religion, people are not in compromise at all. So over to you, Mr. Patrick. What do you take from the two callers that would hear from? Because they make a point, say the place. They're not too worried about the message, but the place where the president do and the other caller try for just advice, say president need for kind of I sure say people they must not look into his speech and not just make no more. But over to you from waiting the callers then say, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Kabo, and the listening audience. Now they get me?
Yes, so they get you loud and clear, yes.
Yes. I want to take a contrary view to all. I tell the people they thank you. The right to religion now a right under international law and under Sierra Leone domestic law. And however, the Quran make mention of, if I could quote the Quran and Surah 2, chapter 2, verse 64. And also the same Quran, when at the Muslim Dayo book, Surah 22, verse 40, all what they try for talk, it say the role of the mosques is to increase the faith in God within and with respect for the congregation. Now that the Surah say. And when you go to the Bible, the Christian book, the Bible says, all heart Jehovah is searching and every inclination of the thought is disheartening. And the caller we mentioned say a place, the ultimate role of a mosque under a Muslim religion, that a place for worship. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, peace and blessing be upon the prophet. And the Muslim religion not to take kindly, or any religion not to take kindly to anybody, including the president, we go na a place, na the mosque, for give a political comment. Just like when a particular caller say, well, it would look like, say, the president, if visit Nakono, it only go for few set of people there, whether the Muslim, and the message we give at the mosque, not for the entire Kono again, and only the Muslim they go ready because the mosque go. But because of the religious tolerance, what Sierra Leone gets, and because of the role of the leaders, when you study history, you go tell you, say, the role of the Obai, when are the Timini chief, and they serve both as a religious head and political head. Now that make the head of the Obai, the head of the Obai, the Timini chief, they always refer to, and the chief not they die, but they refer to and say, they go na a canter, they go na the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, that whether a original home, is to tell me that the role of our leaders is to provide religious functions and provide moral lesson. However, the venue, when a mosque, where its sole purpose that for worship, and may not be know what to be done at the president, what he want portray, because however I look at people that go say na political comment, if I don't get an open floor like a stadium, if I don't go and pray with the people them, the kind they do, president can go and pray with the people them. After prayer, it's where all go na field, law go talk, like what you do na McKinney, or what you do na other side. So some people they get right to the opinion and say the ultimate purpose of the mosque is side for worship. But also we go for looking of the socio-economic political role of where the roles of the interreligious council. Part of the role of the interreligious council where the mosques fall under, where some imam there like Imam Abu Bakr, like Sheikh Tijan Sila, they are all part and parcel of the interreligious council. The mosques and the church, they play a didactic role. Now, aside for teach a moral lesson, and now aside for propagate Islam, and for propagate religion, and for preach peace. So, and if president go to mosque, me not know if bishop go there. To me, of you, I say then go there one in solidarity with respect for the Muslim religion, for go and get the Juma prayer with them, when the Friday prayer, where make say the president accept, we don't are Christian, but he get high respect for the Muslim religion. And don't forget that the president in West, now a fervent Muslim, and a kono himself come out. And Archbishop Tambachas, where that the Archbishop of the Catholic Church, na kono, me don't know if in talk anything there, but the venue for give political speech to many people there not will be okay.
Okay.
So now that me they ask President you for say, well, if the people they don't say before you allow this thing can turn to other thing again, they can people get right to peaceful protest, but now the undertone, the consequences what go happen if they can demonstrate. This one, then you get other people they will go there, sometimes some man go begin saying stone or after full life police mistake shoot somebody or police arrest somebody. And then it go translate into a religious conflict so no one get na Sierra Leone.
Absolutely.
Let me forget the key statement where Victor Ajesape said that when I a Christian pastor, and we talk something in church, we be one Dr. Sylvia Blady by then, when I be the minister of social welfare, when I be get for put a stop, they suspend the church. And people they not take kindly to religious statements, then political statement and mocks. So in a short run, me just ask the president, then he reiterate and give a statement in an open place and tell the people that what he mean, then the situation will solve. So over to you, sir.
Yes. Again, there are this thing's so sensitive that unfortunately we don't go a whole lot of we don't depending upon waiting on I think una within at the studio. If you know, for let we extend the broadcast, la know when una want, particularly to Mr. Kutubu, when you want for let we extend the broadcast, we don't go way over time, like over an hour of the normal time. But somebody write something where I really want for let una to quickly address them before we take additional calls them. The person pick up something when Mr. Seth where I first read that press release, that in the kind of my mind. The press release states say they go demonstrate now the northern province and the western area. Why then two areas then they? And we know say the areas then they back now. It is me just the kind of try for see something now. Not to say now any insightfulness or whatever way people can go put them, but we know say now APC stronghold and one in the north and the western area. So why not the area and they therefore concentrate in terms of the demonstration? So at Toronto now, let's start with Mr. Kutubu. What did he make of the press release which categorically say then go do the demonstration at the northern area, the northern province and the western area? Over to you, Mr. Kutubu.
Yeah. The way when we go and look up, just like Mr. Patrick, we want, in chemistry, there's what we call powder keg. And also Mr. Patrick will agree with me. And this line, the situation here now, a powder keg. Waiting anyway, just a little thing for igniter. Waiting we need for the other Mr. Patrick. I hope the president will go on national here. He try reassure the Muslim community, the entire Muslim Ummah. He reassure them that in remarks at that place, not to anything where go try for either bring disrespect by the religion or for shake the unity, the togetherness, and the peace. We are there to certain misconception. If I make us normally something happy, then somebody can say, hey, they take me out of context. It can be said they take her out of context. But now how he handle it as a leader, this is where leadership comes in. He go there, he appeal to them. Now in border them. Everybody with another place in border. The north, the west, the south, the east, all are one. Any problem will affect the north and the west. Now the same problem that will affect the south and the east. So my hope is this not become a regional issue, because some of we again, when we go back to history, we see what happened in Nigeria January 15, 1966, July 29, 1966, and we see the far-reaching ramification. We see that. And SALONE, no we for be a place of religious tolerance. Me wants to strike a middle balance there. Let the president just make a national statement. Say, okay, they take them out of context. We are not to this mean. They say they let just give a little reassurance. But we pray God let no demonstration not take place. Because there's nothing like peaceful demonstration. Because you don't know who that gets something. Agitation, you don't know who that gets something on their sleeve. Yes, the imam and the sheikhs, and they will go peacefully. But then so other people, they make politics out of it. And this night, they could say now we need to move forward now. We need to move forward. We cannot afford for the end all the time. Now that we go really say, no, not more petrol party thing. Then the president just said that, they media kind of perhaps take them out of context, the way they look at not to so in me. The Muslim people and I, God and sister them. After all, like Mr. Patrick, he might be a Muslim person. So they say that me now the leadership and the cohesiveness and the assurance, and I don't know I wanted the president do. They just assure them. Said we are, they will move forward. So Mr. Patrick, I turn back to you, sir.
And before I bring Mr. Patrick, thank you so much, Mr. Kutubu. As you say all that, my body they rise with pleasure. And thank you for where you touch me. And this kind message we want for let people and get. That way where you say now it bothers them, now it sisters them. My goodness. My body, I just kind of confess. My body rise in pleasure. So thank you for that. Because really, let nothing not spill over into unnecessary demonstration and stuff like that. And Mr. Patrick, over to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kutubu. Over to you, Mr. Patrick.
Well, I tell you thank you, Mr. Kagbo, and I tell Mr. Kutubu thank you. Now, one thing they were plain, way clearing, way glaring, way to go straight to your question, we say, wait to make the press release only the target the Muslim them within at the north and the western area.
Just quick correction though. Now the person put western area, but the press release say Freetown, northern province and Freetown. So I just want to make that correction there. Say they not put say western area, but then say Freetown, where we all know say the western area. Go ahead, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
Well, Freetown are the capital, and the northern headquarters of the northern area, all man knows now the stronghold of the Operation All People's Congress. And now one thing we've started under international law, people can use any means for derail government where they know say they can for target them. And Mickey talk say the press release waiting me from the Muslim. They say then go issue then go do a peaceful demonstration all over the country. And by extension, we cover Freetown, we cover Kono, we cover outside. But if now what's in the policy say now he say they say north and western region, and when the incident happened na Kono, they go to the call implied terms and law. The thing speaks for itself. When they talk the Latin say reps ipsa loquitur. That means say even the speech, even the press release, not they reflect the 100% of the Muslim congregation. That means that they don't let some other Muslim populace out within at the east, including Kono where the incident happened. That means, simply put, it is politically motivated. You get people then when at top bonds the way they use religion for fuel conflict. So, but by and large, one of the tenets or one of the quality of any leadership, especially the president, is that you forget keen and analytical mind for always prevent violence. Prevention is better than cure. The medical people they can tell you. So the ultimatum of the people that give the president, where they say, well, the people that get right to their opinion, and the Muslim people that get right to religion, and right to opinion under international law, somebody can say what he wants to say as close as he satisfies conscience. Let the president come back openly and tell them, just like what Mr. Kutubu say, well, they can get a press release, say, well, me people that on me say, interpret me, what I mean? I don't mean for bring politics now mocks. I can openly with a clean hand for can worship Putuna. If I say anything at the mocks, one feel say I target a particular religion, then sorry, but not to that I mean. I believe so if the president do that, then the need for even demonstration not go happen the 25th before today at the 20th. When I free to right now, the day 5 hours ahead of you, I will say that the 20th na free to still. The president get right any side Sierra Leone is of the country. He get right forgive a public statement any side. In West na a Muslim. However, because of the respect for religion and because of misinterpretation of the English language and the venue, when a mosque, when a sacred place, where the ultimate message whether for preaching a mosque, now about religion, now about for propagate Islam and how for increase the faith of people there, we're not getting nothing for do commission of inquiry. So me say me candid opinion because the Bible tells you it say flee. It say flee from trouble. And it tells you it say let you be wise. You get to be wise like a serpent. And the Bible tells you it say you cannot. Romans they tell you it say I beseech you, brethren, in view of God's mercy. It say leave your body wholly acceptable unto the Lord as a reasonable service. The Bible also tells you, my people suffer for lack of knowledge. The Quran tells you, you therefore use wisdom for avoid your enemy. The Bible tells you, temptation. It says flee from temptation. And then make God, Jesus Christ, we set and tell us, if you not got the picking, turn this stone to bread. He said, man does not live on bread alone. Not to religion for camp preach. However, Sierra Leone Day on a ticking time bomb. People can use anything for inflamed situation, including because they don't find out, say, well, what you make all the AFAF issue here, they come in people there. Some man no one face in a commission of inquiry, and the bottom line is. So some man will bring any kind of step, and like them put already the president, already that they say so, they are the civil servants there, they are the permanent secretary there. Some man will write all that thing. And now this not fine for a country. So if President Bill do, then they talk simple to the people then, the problem will solve. And added to that, let the opposition know say, the time of governance, don't the mandate they be get for rule. The people that we don't take them, they don't hand over to President Bill and the SLPP government. You know, they run two country concurrently. And anything we get for do political overtone, and we get for count anarchy, peradventure, or count, we will derail the peace and tranquility of the country. the international community not go take a lightly with anybody, including President Bio. So anybody working for make we go we're not ready for plunge into war again. People they don't suffer too much. So let all man play in role. The interreligious council them back. They say could come. They call of all interreligious council, including the Muslim and the Christian. Then they get a body. They will go out and give out a statement, and let the president retract. He go back now the ear. They say, "Mendeman say yes, I be plan. We mean say when you say yes, I know the church trusts." You go and tell the people they're waiting to be intent and waiting to be message. Then the problem will solve. So I can stop the back and over to Mr. Kutubu.
Well, we don't talk. We on job now, like God hungry. We on job now for act, as a conscience of the society. We dey bring solution. Then we know what is exacerbate the embers of discord. We on job now for a bridge. Now for work a bridge. Like we say, humility. One man within this country, where they call Benjamin Franklin. One of the things where they know Benjamin Franklin for humility. That man will be very humble, and humility they go a long way. Like we said, believe me, the president just explained himself. Believe me, not go take away from the fact not to that the president of the country. What you want to see in the act as a pacifier, now the leader, now in the dirty box, all man the 20 dirty panel. Now in get for show this tolerance, he show the understanding. You see this machoism, no, that me in charge is no. I mean this here. Now matter we don't even come on each other. It all depends on how the president handle this. And my hope is the president will get advice as them. We will get Allah in taqwa. But above all, we will put SALONE ahead of the political brinkmanship and find a diplomatic way for talk the president to this thing here. Then the president can feel like you say, call the council of religious people, them, the heads of the churches, the heads of the church, the imams, and they can go under how they call it. Let's say that alone. Anything what they do now, this is what they have got. Don't put respect. Respect they go a long way. You see, not to tell you, so tell not to even the president will go talk to them after they don't get any kind of a body. The others, and they go talk about that thing that be so. When the Muslim people say, well, the president don't meet today, we all job now, Naya and Mr. Patrick. Then we advocate how to solve the problem. And the way official will solve, let the president get at the religious heads then. Like he can't meet in a state house, eh? You know me for Aaron Column, they all talk, they chamot, they engage in chamot. Me, I believe say to God and I be Mr. Patrick. That problem. Go like you correctly say. You see some of we again, don't like how you historically minded and so me say historically minded. If I make enough for go to other countries, I pick up with everything me not happen there. They always be example, they quickly go to Nigeria because I see waiting the 30 months of civil strife in Nigeria. Say it lead to the dismemberment of the country. From that little while and all get Biafra. And we don't want this. We don't go through political convulsions and social vicissitudes. The magnitude no able. So let this little thing, call like you say, some man and get politics on their sleeve now. They don't want wait over for an opportunity. So let this not be an opportunity for let another Babala disaster between. We pray God, the president and your advisors, and go look at this, look at from the perspective of put SALONE before. After every day, they all the talk of SALONE, let they put SALONE before. This again, another opportunity so don't come for let the president take the leadership. Let they all put SALONE before. So me, that don't want me go add to that, Mr. Patrick.
Well, I tell you, thank you, Mr. Kutubu. Well, before the people that will come, you get what they call distraction. And what people that you do normally, if they say you on a cause, a particular cause, and Lord not forget, say corruption is not easy for poor country. Because it just tell equipment don't use for it. You don't eat goat, you don't use for use free life, no somebody just kind of one curtailment system the day. It's not easy for poor country. It get for affect. But come away be just squander the money. No one let them bring them for accountability. So me the plea to President Bio if you hear me. Let him use in wisdom. Thank God that illicit president and not to all time you get for this silent as president. You get for show you leadership qualities. You get for come out and talk. Otherwise, if anything go wrong, Other the people they know as president are you, not to Dr. Anesco man. If you're able to provide security for the people then and maintain discipline, and the police also not go tolerate any lawlessness in the country. Because when you talk to the dog, you get to talk to the bone. But if not religious tension, they want carry the thing go to. The thing politically motivated and no need for hide. Because why Kono, who said the president go talk, why the people that are Kono, the Muslim German are Kono, no grab and say, write letter. The letter, they only the kind of Texas say, well, why not only the Northwest? Then say they go demonstrate. They get the interreligious council, they get the council of imams. Now that they make, the Bible says, submit to the leadership of the day, the authority of the day. The president can call them. If the president no want go there in West na Muslim, he can call Fatima Bio na Kono na Muslim. Thank God the president in West na Muslim, the vice president na Muslim. Now that they black Sierra Leone, they can go and talk on behalf of the president. But we don't want to see this small demonstration there because any tell people that demonstrate, whether not peaceful demonstration or whether not violent or otherwise, or it derail the political system and the benchmark and the standard of the human rights index of the country, they go down. And it gets consequences in the country and not a sign of good governance because anytime that they demonstrate, something it fly up easily. After for that, they go let the demonstrate, you don't know that get gone. Or that because a different plan. So tell the person to Muslim self. Don't a grab a begin do something where contrary, where the police themselves not go able to condone, don't a count tension between the police and the Muslim. And let the president not allow anybody for use human shield, for use the people there. And Mr. Leona people them back. You not eat, you not drink. Do ya not allow let anybody, whether people that they be the thief, they're not thief in the name of Mende, or they're not thief in the name of Timini. They're not thief in the name of Makeni, or they're not thief in the name of particular tribe or Limba or Soso or Fula. Then people then they give them a mandate for rule country.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Patrick, let me hold off yanda first, and because it's a lawyer, na allegation against them, or not get no proof say them thief anything as of right now. You be say that yesterday. Yes, so let we end on that side. Let we take a caller day na the line. We don't take quite a while. Let's take that call day, please. And then maybe I will go take one more call. It will be the last call, and I go send Antona for Lona give una closing. But really, don't be great and long show. VS Network. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Please go ahead with your comment, please.
Oh. Hello, you hear me?
I'm so sorry, sir. But maybe call me back because you line the break. I know say some thinking the WhatsApp can give problem, but yeah, call me back and I promise. Yes, I promise I go get you through. Thank you very much, sir. Sorry about that. So I'll take another call, but I go bring you through where you call back. Thank you. So let me take we WhatsApp number they give problem, but let me take a call, the direct line. VS Network caller, waiting your name and who say the call from, please.
This concerned citizen New York to call.
Hello, concerned citizen New York. Waiting you take on what you don't say so far. Go ahead, please. You get 3 minutes.
All right. I know. Actually, I feel Mr. Kutubu and Mr. Patrick, they don't say it all pertain to the speech will happen Nakono and waiting the president for do. I feel this is the time we president go for tell the people of Salone say it is for we all. If the Muslim people they don't vex because of a speech he make na a particular mocks. I feel say for just come out na the air and then say I'm sorry, the one take not to so I be mean for let it happen. So there and then let we move forward. And then the other thing I'll say again, although this program gets for deal with what they happen at the social media, you know, about this corruption where they go to the country. I feel so inside I think it was last week or so, we really the Auditor General pulled a report about some money, you know, where the finance ministry the will give account for. And up till now, we know not what in the anti-corruption they do towards Dandy. And also recently again, also get to do with the I think the speaker or the Rado, therefore do to Rado, where they say the money we then allocate for the Commission of Inquiry, we including then SLPP newspaper broadcast and then days away and then 3 days Rado at first side and I don't know the other person. We did it and up to now we don't know what thing they go on about that and what we at the anti-commission they do towards that. So I don't know if you know if some of you know get any idea, but we want for know what in transpire and what in the anti-commission they do, how for invite them people and they at least they can give an account as to how the money then they disappear in the country. So I just want to tell you thank you and I want to tell Mr. Kutubu very thank you. You know, yesterday I been watch the show. It was somehow I call it, but I thank God at the end of the day, we are all able for come and the show was great. And I also want to tell Mr. Patrick, very thank you. At least some of we not sabi the law. It will take in time and come for educate some of we. And also want to tell you, Mr. Kagbo, plenty thank you for we the give me the opportunity for let we contribute towards this program. Let God bless you now and let us continue for do the good job. So I will stop here for now and I will give the other people a chance for call.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I'll take the last call for tonight until if me host when Mr. Kutubu tell me say a one for soccer. Yeah, because the caller we left, so it just don't bring another issue, and you talk about all the issues they really trend on social media, and then plenty. But let's take this call, and una go make the decision and tell me what una want for do. But let's take this call. VS Network, hello caller, waiting your name and who say they call from, please?
Yes, I call from. I call from Norristown, Pennsylvania.
Thank you so much, sir. Waiting you take on all waiting they don't talk about, and you get 3 minutes. Go ahead, please.
Well, first of all, I want to tell now thank you for this show. Yeah, so we'll now host, we'll discuss issues. Really, what's the president say that Nakono is very unfortunate. The place and the timing, everything was just unfortunate. And I hope say we heed to the advice where Mr. Kutubu and Mr. Patrick don't offer. But at the same token, me I did doubt. President Bio, from what I don't see so far within this 10 months, I don't think the kind of person will go apologize. I feel say President Bio seems himself too big. I mean, this is just my own opinion. I think he seems himself too big. So when I know go and apologize and this it will draw this it will go past how it's not supposed to be because of President Bio in ego. I hope and I pray so it cannot be so. But now watch how this could be. This 9 out of 10 it will draw past how would they expect because of the president's ego. So that's my own issue I want to say. Oh yeah, one last thing about the Commission of Inquiry. I just want to be all honest. Let me all be honest with ourselves. There have been several commissions of inquiry in Sierra Leone. This is not the first one. The question we need to ask ourselves is, how come this one is so different from the other one? How come this one bring so much tension. Waiting now the cause for this so much tension on this one. And we all know the answer. The answer now the instrument. Those instruments now the answer today, now the problem today, now the problem tomorrow, now the problem next tomorrow. And if the president not listening president, like I'm not the game, now they say not listening president, well, he left to now. Let's say to the area. If the president knew ego again, the president gets so much ego. And ego it precede them. See, if the president not possible to listen, like how they say, well they're gonna say the instrument and they need to change them and let go back to normalcy. Let go back to how all other commissions of the crowd in the past they don't operate. This time you don't take. I told them thank you for this program. And may God bless you, let God bless you all, let God bless SALONE, let God bless the president, let God make you see the wisdom. You see, say, before you wake up in the morning, say, hey, like Colin, inside we just people that look and sit down, we talk. Say, hey, when I miss it, what I say, don't just say me now. Let clear the air, let this go down quick. But again, like I say, the president, the only don't study for this BN10. This past 10 months. I doubt if this not good one. Good night, sir, and have a blessed one.
Thank you. Thank you for your call and comment. And we'll take the last one now because it's on late now. But I'll take the last call. VS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting on your name and who say the call from, please?
Yeah, good evening. Mina Abdullah is the call from New Jersey.
Go ahead, Mr. Abdullah. Thank you so much for your call. Waiting on you take on the issue tonight. What would you talk about, please? And you get 3 minutes and it starts now.
Good. First, I want to thank everybody viewers today, including the two gentlemen, Mr. Kutubu and Mr. Sovi, for the way they handle the program and the education way they impact to we. And I want to tell the CEO, Mr. Kagbo, thank you again for the way they moderate the whole thing. And the second thing I want to wish we President Mr. Bio success in everything they do right for the nation, because at the end of the day, now we all pray with the wish good for we will like we country, because most of we I don't always say we not guess I will like reach some of we. Me specifically, I not guess I will reach now the world reach SALONE, even though I not did it. But because I get people that were likely, I go the last thing I go one year now for make problem Canada country there. Now I want again for say if this commission of inquiry it not get any way important to any Sierra Leonean, I think one importance of that the president. If anybody go after this government, anybody come again at power, the president is the most important thing to me. It might not be considered with some seriousness by this government now or the people the way they affect, but whosoever come, if it don't happen, why they talk of president, I'm not specifically trying to say this is not the first time. If it don't happen, but the extent to which it go, it will be a precedent, because other people they call on tension, this, that. There is no doubt, say, it gets a lot of people we no go want let this commission go. They no go be to come into effect. There is no doubt about it. And then go willing and go wish for see chaos and unrest in the country, just for make them not find some of them one thing. That said, I want to make very clear, say, Mina a Muslim, Mina an APC supporter, but more importantly about my country, Mina a patriotic Sierra Leonean. With regards waiting the president saying at the mosque Nakono, unlike waiting other people saying at the wrong place, at the right message, I want to say as a Muslim, as far as my understanding goes, we all know get right for say the president not being get right for go to mosque and go talk there. Now one person get that right, and that one person don't give the president the authority. We're not the imam. Like when Mr. Kutubu say we go to church, the pastor now end up the pulpit. The imam now responsibility now allow the president for talk. I don't say outside the mosque, but inside the mosque. Trust me, with constitution say the president get right for do everything elsewhere, but the same constitution protect the religious right. If the imam not allow the president for go inside mosque, and obviously the president from a forcefully say they go inside the mosque. So saying at the wrong place, I not agree. Then I want to divide a message inside the mosque specifically into two sections. One way he talk about for can't tell the people in thinking Akono, the accountability and transparency we try to explain, a fine, and the importance of the free education, like we the lawyer talk, all under fine. But also it can mess up the whole thing. Now when it bring politics inside the mosque, waiting at the politics now, specifically we people and nobody see them direct. Now the fact say you give you part of your message in a campaign style, I will call on that way. And I'm not surprised because not so only President Bio in problem. Most African leaders, once they don't take power for the first time, they start then work. Not to for help the people out of within the trouble in the country, but now for build a foundation for going to the second term. So now a campaign style, part of his speech, he used campaign style for pastor message, now he mess up the whole thing. You know to the justice, you know to a member of the justice system, you know the president. For bring we all come together, you don't need to go talk about the justice, the judiciary, waiting and get for do. Well, I not say you don't need to go talk about the commission of inquiry, but for even make a pronouncement, say that money where they don't thief today. That this, I not say people they not thief. Let me get this straight. But for make insightful statement like that money where them don't down our money where them thief. Now we do this. As a president, if they above that, let it be your cabinet members, other people and where they talk for the party, then they go and make them statement in the board. As a president, you know for make that statement there. And again, I think also I make that statement of war, I'm not facing inside the mosque as far as waiting me here. But I understand say go to the community center we go talk. I think I didn't make that war statement. I don't know if the people who write that letter they misconstrued whatever it say. But inside the mosque, you know say that. And you know wrong for make you go talk to the mosque. But as I say, if you use campaign style politics inside mosque, then people indeed the way no matter what, they not favor you as a president, they not favor your party. In as much as you get beaucoup supporters of you inside the mosque, then you incite them people in there. That nine are they against them for. And again, finally, I wonder we know say in as much as people they say the APC party, no one accepts it, then they in opposition or they don't lose power. We agree with some, not to all APC members. The one that we feel say they not been work right. I feel they get our thoughts there. But the president again get for no say. This not a time for begin campaign for a second term. This not time for go tell for me enough for make it tell the people and say, hey, the international community not send 1 million. Now just the money where we get on at the country, by we don't work this short term will come. Now the help for fund this, we do that. That now accountability of the actual work we do. But for refer to people where they not even for convict them of crime where they not even try them it. In the court of public opinion, that they incite with people, and especially when you look at the majority, the level of understanding, it depends on the way you put the message to them. Now, so then they take them, hook, line, and sinker. So now that's my point. And finally, I want to say, even you make a statement other side, we say, when I'm on with them with the thief, and the ambulance, they wouldn't be used for politics. Me, we don't understand the layman, how they take them. The previous government, all this with the president decision are this. And to me, the president not is saying for kind of power again. He already did have power. It is saying for build in next term foundation for in next term of office. To me, wrong.
All right, my brother. Because you know the last call, I will give you a little bit of time. But Diana, for wrap them up now, let we end that side and give
Yes, well, thank you very much. As I say again, the Commission of Inquiry, it don't cause a lot of unrest, whether the process for letting set them up or waiting, but I must say a lot involved there. But again, I commend the president and in cabinet for that, and I wish them good luck. I wish them success in the aim for make we retrieve whatever wrongdoing of the Sierra Leonean government in the past. But the president, to me, now more important.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much for all the comments today. And I will pass them now to the host for like in kind of take we through the end. As that's not the last call, because really I don't think me strong enough for soccer. So I will pass and give Mr. Kutubu. Let it take him up from there. And then Mr. Patrick for our closing remarks. So now our closing remarks. And I pass the touch to Una. Una, go ahead, please.
Well, I give Mr. Patrick all again, privilege I'm a guest. So that make us very comfortable now. Then he just address that, and then why should he address that? They use that as a closing out in corner. I'm a host, so I for make it very comfortable. So you, Mr. Patrick, you can go and play, come back now. I enjoy your lectures tonight.
Hello.
Yeah, I give you the honor.
Yes, well, thank you very much, Mr. Kutubu. And I tell all the caller then, very, very thanks. I tell them they always salient points. But I want to start with the first caller where say, I don't believe say the president, because of the ego, the president not go come back and talk to the people there. Me not subscribe to that because sovereignty belongs to the nation and to the people. Now the people then, just our President Biobi won the mandate for electoral presidents. If they go up and down all over Sierra Leone, including Kono, for go talk to the people then. I don't see nothing bad for the president for come out for dialogue with the people then, through the leader, the interreligious council or through the council of imam, and for tell them and for make a statement very, very clear and pellucid to the people that say that this are the mean. Because one quality as a leader, you for always avoid trouble, you for always prevent chaos. Where I believe say President Bio gets the leadership quality with in educational background and him being a former military brigadier and a former head of state, we don't want to serve. You know the ramification where religious conflicts can bring, because President Bio don't travel the length and breadth of Sierra Leone and other side. And secondly, and this other caller make serious point. The caller from Pennsylvania will say, with regards the commission of inquiry, what to make this particular commission of inquiry different, we get so much tension from the other hand. Now, because of just like what in our last caller talk, something that the way president know they talk, something that they went at the judiciary role. But if you begin Bitcoin, you begin talk, say, well, we go bring them accountable, we go do this, we go do that, then some man go feel say now target you, they target a particular tribe or a particular set of people that will not find for the country. Thirdly, me always the try for talk on Sierra Leone, a country for all Sierra Leoneans. The president for give a olive branch to the opposition and to other members of the other tribe. At Sierra Leone, not to only a one-party state, Sierra Leone not a one-party state or not a one-tribal state. When a Tony president, you don't command the opposition. You're not a president for a whole Sierra Leone, and the president will not talk that clear. So let it put in words into action, and let it give. And Samora Kamara and Christian, they go to the same church, and other people then they within the Northern Party, like the Deputy Minister of Justice, na Northern and a minister, the Minister of Sport, na Northern, and let the president rule the country just like according to the oath we take. Let the commission of inquiry be free and fair. Because of time, we'll go look more into the commission of inquiry next week, because the commission of inquiry, the mandate, is a part of the laws from chapter 9 of the Constitution of Act number 6 of 1991. 9 give the president the authority, every president of Sierra Leone the mandate. It can up to section 147, subsection 1, up to section 150. All talk about commission of inquiry. Waiting at the mandate, waiting they for do, how they for go about it. If Mr. Kutubu get time, we'll go into that, because now education and sensitization. Waiting the president they do so now. Now me call sensitization. Now money, me don't know if not true or lie. What they say they give some people then a Minister of Information. Where before don't go inform the people then. Where they say that some people don't squander that money. If you go for go tell thank you, you know they do the role of the information ministry. When they make people they say and say that incitement. And if not true, you know that make they use conditional clause if the if clause. If not true, say Alpha Saidu Bagura there or the other people that eat that money there, let them bring them to a book, as there is nobody above the law. But Sierra Leone they're not stupid again, people they're not fool again, and nobody not go use any means for delay the system of the political system of Sierra Leone. We united, and Sierra Leone get a religious tolerance, a religious where Christian and Muslim they marry, they live together amicably. Thank God the vice president are Muslim, the first lady are Muslim. So let the president come back. Let in a leader, the Mr. Kutubu say, you know, dirty box. And now you all man, President Koma, people they go meet them. People on that bike riders, this and that, they demonstrate, they go to state house. If they come on, you talk to them. The role of the president now for talk. So let President Bio come on, or a spokesman come on, let them admonish this thing, and let the commission of inquiry hold. Because me don't see say that delay tactics, and some people then particularly that they use political motivation statements and other means for let them derail the system. And Mr. Kabo be try for caution me just to say I not get proof say and people they don't embezzle money. Well, as a lawyer, they go to they call influence. If anti-corruption don't already get a $900,000 when are from people then, when they call when are settlements, with them money then they call and they say, well, either you pay this money or you go jail or we'll try you. They say, well, they settle and then they begin pay. In law, now a good evidence for proof say people that they embezzle money. So I stand corrected to what they say. So, however, also, Sierra Leone now a peaceful country where we for count national cohesion and we for able use like what the president be do where we call the members of the APC and the other political party. They will say let them go talk to the people there. They forgive mass sensitization under information science. They go to the current awareness service. They get what they call selective dissemination of information until they inform the people there, because the role of the imam that they people the any two imam talk like me. I take me pastor in high esteem and they listen to me pastor past anybody else. And Sierra Leone, because of the people then, the educational level of people then, with no mean disrespect of people then, and especially the Muslim population, some they listen more to imam and share what they tell them. So let the president not allow let the regional side for let any demonstration come. They say they go out for use the police because people have right to demonstrate anyways in the democracy. Peaceful demonstration, they get right. So because of time, I don't know if Mr. Kutubu is ready for prolong or lost any Twitter and say are ready for them. We'll go do them. But make it stop here and tell the people that thank you. On allow continue for exercise restraint and let the president come out. Let it condemn all violence and let the APC themselves, let them say come out, let them spell out, let them condemn all violence because no two political parties not go rule a country at the same time. And like how the last caller said, election tender pass, no left the campaign speech here. President Bio they get for whole accountable for in stewardship for in 5 years. After 5 years, now what you do? The bread and butter issue. How the Sierra Leone people are you able to move the country based on your manifesto, based on the statements the way we say if you come, if you give me the mandates, now then I will do. Now based on that, they get for look you. So let them move. Government are continue to let them move forward. And let the APC government themselves know say they're in opposition and let themselves they can play a key role in opposition for oppose for give constructive criticism. There's nothing wrong with that. But let themselves left for use people that are shield. Not to us small thing. You know, there's not a small thing they go say, well, they go interview somebody, you get for talk to all my people that come on and do because when they use the people then the international community they watch. And at the end, anybody will go bring can fetch Astafulana the country, they go the international community go hold and responsible. And the Sierra Leone people they go hold and responsible. So with that, I give una peace and love. Me Muslim population, me a Christian, I tell una thank you. Why they Kuwait are they go to mosque and they talk Arabic? I don't see nothing bad with that. But if people then feel say when they right to the opinion, say the particular how the president give that speech, not uncalled for. Let the president do it, let it use the same way in humility. Let it go back and talk to the people that make the record straight. So I tell Mr. Kutubu thank you, and I tell the CEO thank you until I ready from the back. So over to you, sir.
Well, you don't say everything, you don't encapsulate everything. We just get for tell we audience, boku thank you, the patient, and like we continue for say, yes, now we all get some. We audience that they get some, that they will work for. If this place are big tomorrow, now them. Now we own contribution this food they make to the society. They not they pay we. You all like you say we don't take great time. But you study them, we don't take care, you don't come. Now the love of Sierra Leone we you know, you all like we see you instead. Now the love we get for Yeah, we have them before decide say this their money, but then for they go work and Hollywood, work anytime, but they say no. Then they spend them for salon, for promote salon. Then this that the thing, you know what I talk. Now they call this way John Kennedy be make on January 20, 1961. We asked every American, you say no ask, what America go do for you, what you they do, what you go do now, what they do so. It can't be said it don't resonate with all. So what I sister them all, we they encourage them. We not perfect now. You know, some of the things that one I expect to go say, if you not say, not of us say one look at them as scant or they're not significant, but we self understand, we send them out money, we liable to mistakes, we can forget, but we ask una. For Leona, they tell we, Leona, they not talk about that. We not talk about Wataki, why you about Wataki? What about that with passport? Visa, they pay too much money. Telephone, we they pay the highest. Now all get we now no more it's not before the camera. But believe me, una input is great because for Muna, 9 can go before. Because if we don't hear from now, we don't know if they do well or not they do it. So I tell you again, thank you. I tell you una patient beaucoup, Mr. Patrick, we hope say you go make this place a home away from home. You will kind of every now and then from the part of Winaya. Especially in the area of law, we also get entangled, you go help loose come up on the wall. Again, we wanted everybody thinking how Kaya will be similar like money. Rahim, let God make law. All come out. Alhamdulillah, Rabbi Alami, by God power, next Saturday, me, you go there again with the report. We sister me on boss, Fadima and me on boss, Danny, because I program this. With the one assurance with Sam, it is the hour of grief. We not forget them. By God in power, God will give because God will give the mercy, He will give the patience. He will make this year we don't happen. So that's so God said, that's so God can and may not be able to deal with you physically, but emotionally and mentally he deal with we, and I we can represent that because not to the program so now about give you the trust and confidence. So Lord can represent I believe say we will do a good job now. And you said I tell you, thank you. You walk with a lot of things there. But continue, let God continue to forgive that with us. So, Mr. Kagbo, we engineer, Mr. Tarali said, Dr. Abokuboku, thank you for your patience. And until we come back next week, we people then let God watch over we all. So, now that.